It is today. Well, it's not today, but we're having a birthday party for you today.
It was a surprise.
It's a surprise birthday party.
Surprise birthday party I've ever had. Apparently I gotta wear the hat.
Oh, here, I'm going to switch cams so you can see the crowd here. There's people everywhere. We'll get the... Yeah, it's not on there too securely. So what does it say? I'm not old, I'm vintage.
Apparently
Nice.
I'm vintage now.
There's the crew. We got the big. There's everyone. Yeah, we got Craig in the way. We got the whole posse.
But you gotta see the cake.
You got to see the cake. The cake is amazing. Yeah, we're gonna have to bring the cake over and put it on the table here so that people can actually see it. It's quite a creation with.
It's the most amazing cake
It's got Johnny on it, sitting on a big, huge medtainer.
It's pretty awesome.
I want a medtainer the size of the one that's scale to you and your cake.
I think it's just pretty cool. I walked around the corner and a few people said happy birthday. I'm like, it's not my birthday today, guys. They're like, oh, that's not what we said upstairs. I'm like, really? Not even thinking anything. I walk in. This beautiful lady here, great friend.
Ashley, who put together the party with Hetty, and me too. Yeah, yeah.
Very good friends of mine who are chefs who you've seen in some of our videos and stuff like that.
Ashley.
And wow.
Hi, Pot TV.
Most epic birthday cake and the first surprise birthday I've ever had. That's awesome.
That makes me really happy to hear. Everyone knows Johnny is my boss. He's one of my bestest friends in the world, and he did really something special for me on my birthday. So I just wanted to do something really special for him on his birthday, and he's the best employer ever. And fucking medtainer is the best.
You know what? Pretty much. Surprised. 100% surprised. I don't know how you guys all pulled it off. You kept it secret.
That was hard. We were trying to tell everyone not to tell anyone.
Can we hear me? Hear me? There we go. Okay, so on all that note, I need a dab.
A birthday dab?
Yeah. Oh, I need water. This is fantastic. All these people showing up, and I wasn't expecting this. So it's even like more of a surprise when it turns into like a bunch of fantastic people that you guys. I almost cried. I was a little teary-eyed. I was like, you guys are pretty awesome.
Here, I'll grab the mic for a sec. So if you don't know where we are, people, we're in the Cannabis Culture Lounge at 307 West Hastings Street. I'm going to go back to the crowd cam here. We got everybody piled around. There's people taking camera shots. We got the whole crew in the house. We got the Thompson Caribou Syrup Bar. We got Boss Lissa on the boards doing show production. And there's Marley over there with her cast. And we got Craig X over there as well. Pod TV's Marley and Craig X. So we got the whole Pod TV crew in the house. Lots of fun. And
Turpfire is also
cool.
here.
So,
hey, Jeremiah, did you know that?
307 West Hastings if you want to come join the
Turpfire
party.
is also here giving away dabs.
Oh, Turpfire's here giving away dabs.
Yeah, they're sampling
And
dabs
then
for Johnny's birthday.
Yeah, I'm seeing all these. I need a dab. And then Chris is downstairs like, happy birthday. I'm like, it's not my birthday.
Didn't blow the surprise down.
I had no idea. It was awesome.
That's funny. So what, somebody blew it downstairs?
Well, people just kept wishing him a happy birthday.
Oh, I see.
It said surprise on Facebook.
No, and then I'm like it's on Facebook. I'm like, I said it's not on my Facebook. I said
so
it's
funny.
birthday week because I was laughing with Elena. I said November is birthday month for me, so it starts on the
That's so
1st. It goes to the
funny
21st.
You thought that people were. No, it's because of today. Happy birthday, John.
And I'm like, oh, it's my birthday month. Thank you. Yeah, birthday month. Completely, fully surprised. Yeah, 100%. And the best part is I got up this morning and I pressed out some 5-star, 6-star. This is rosin and
Show
dry
up on this
sift.
cam. Here, we'll switch it up to the dry sift rosin cam.
Dry sift and rosin.
Party cam. There you go. Look at that. Ooh, a little higher, a little higher.
Yeah, I don't want the dry sift to fall out.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's falling. A little higher. There you go.
Here's the dry sifts.
Oh, wait, go back to that. Yeah.
Tommy.
There you go.
Thanks,
Everybody's
Tommy.
signing. Johnny's got a thing here that people are signing.
So apparently they got this big happy birthday thing in front of me that people are signing, which is awesome. That's like the best memories ever, you know? Like
We're
I
gonna
like
need
this.
a shot of your cake too.
We
Yeah,
gotta
the
get a
cake.
shot.
The cake is
we're gonna have to bring it
amazing.
over or something because the cord is not gonna reach that far.
It's so cool.
It's the dopest keg.
That is the most amazing cake you've ever seen.
But Johnny, the reason that we did it today, not only because we had the show today, but because you're gonna be away for your birthday.
Yes, I won't be here for my birthday.
Where are you going, John?
It's a surprise.
Oh, it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was going to be going to an event for Weed Expo Columbia.
That's where I thought you were going.
But
That's what I thought you were doing too.
I know. So, but that's still things just kind of didn't get sealed on it. But I did get. I have a weekend getaway that I don't know about yet.
Oh, very nice.
That's a 3-day adventure that I don't know about. I just told that I have to.
You're just told to get on a plane.
I'm just told to get on a plane.
And then
I get on a plane on the Saturday, and I come back on a Tuesday.
Nice. Well, that's fun. Good trip.
See, this is a good thing I planned it for this weekend then.
Yes, 100%.
Well, I was
Yeah.
going to plan it for
Canada,
next,
gonna
and then
spark
I was
that
like,
up.
it's too
Nice.
close to your actual birthday, and I know you, and you're always going everywhere.
So
I talked to you one day, another day you're on a plane.
I know. It's what happens with this
He's a busy
beautiful
guy.
industry, cannabis, and what we're doing here in Canada, and the things that are happening, and then the moves that are happening with legalization and the change. What happened in the U.S. recently with all of the different states legalizing. With the referendums. Speaking of,
I wanted to talk about that because this is our first show back since the election.
The dangers.
And on my show last week, we didn't really cover the election.
We should have a D-nail here going. I don't know.
We
what's going
covered
on here.
I
we covered
thought
the
that
election
we
on
were
Carly's
going
show
to.
on Monday. We went through all the different states that could
I see cookies.
pass
inside.
ballot initiatives. Now I've got the list here. These are the ones that did. Of course, the big one, the big win, I think that's really going to be a game changer on every level is Cali. It's California. And despite the fact that some activists in California were against Prop 64 is what they call it, I was for it. I think the momentum of it is going to be huge. I think we can change things as we get to it.
Seen this before, Justin Trudeau.
We've seen this. We've seen this before, but I think we need to keep fighting, and we got to ask for something better than what's there now. So if it's a move forward, I'm supportive of it. Less people will be persecuted for it in certain ways. Although with Cali, you got to be careful because so many people have access to marijuana right now that we don't want to have a situation where those people are going to lose access to marijuana. So yeah, I mean, it's a big issue there. I am supportive of it, but I still think there's a lot that we need to be careful about with Prop 64 in Cali. Also, big one, Maine, question 1 passed, Massachusetts passed, Nevada passed, and the only losing one was Arizona of the legalization initiatives. And
Massachusetts, Maine, and
yeah.
Florida, and somewhere else and Arkansas got
getting all
Yeah,
these
with
cannabis
Maine
gifts
was
now.
question 1, it passed. Massachusetts was question 4, it passed. Prop 205 in Arizona lost. But the medical marijuana bills went through. Florida, that was Amendment 2 passed. That's the first state in the South to actually do that.
Are they medicated?
And Arkansas passed question 6. Montana, 182, and North Dakota passed Measure 5. So big wins all across the states.
And actually, more little-known things, too. I talked about a little bit on my show yesterday. You can check the replay on Pot TV. There was also some smaller little victories. Colorado, certain parts of part of Colorado now will be able to have smoke lounges. And
Yes.
there was a few counties in Ohio, or certain towns in certain counties in Ohio. Some little things
In
like
Maine, Maine also has written into the bill that they're allowed to have places to consume marijuana as well. So that's also a big, huge win.
Yeah,
Vapor
there's a-
lounges like the ones we're sitting in right now may become legal in someplace other than Amsterdam. Right now, Amsterdam's the only place that you can go in and actually do that.
Yeah, there was a bunch of less publicized things. Of course,
We've
the
been doing
big
it here for the
809
last
win.
20 years.
Right, we do it here, but we're not allowed. We do it here, but we're still illegal. Look at this
So
crowd we
like
got
to
here,
smoke.
Johnny.
And actually, last week on the show, when we were out at 2819 Shaughnessy for the fundraiser that we did for Wounded Warriors veterans, Smiling Buddha sent over a couple of Cannagars. And
We're lighting that
yeah.
up for 20.
and we're going to light this bad boy up here at 420
In 7
Cannagar.
minutes.
in
Right
7
there.
minutes. The
That's a
subby.
solid chunk. Let's see
There
that
you go.
thing. The Cannagar. Bam. The
So we're going to light
Stogue.
that bad boy up for sure. It'll
It's
be
got
cool, man.
it's wrapped in an actual cannabis leaf.
Yeah, it's cannabis with rosin and dry sift wrapped in a cannabis leaf. So, we know that. So we're going to pass like this at 420 and pass it all around. But while I've got the birthday boy here in the house, I figured that because he does like rosin and dry sift so much, as a gift from me to you, courtesy of Smiling Buddha, 512 BD, Curtis, everybody make it happen. Johnny, your very own Cannagar, the Deadhead, Smiling Buddha Cannagar. They
Very
are well put
nice.
together. A
This
gift.
is a hand one. I've had these before, but this one looks a little bit more custom.
Show it off.
Yeah, those are crazy. It's
It's a
all
cool
wrapped
container
up. It's
it's in.
about 5 grams of weed in there. There's a gram of rosin, full of dry sift as well too. They're
I will light
cannabis
this
leaves.
on my birthday, and I'll do a
Yes.
Facebook
On your real
post
birthday.
on my real birthday. Be like,
Yeah.
And shouts to
Not in
Smiling Buddha
Colombia.
for it. Yeah, so you keep that for your actual birthday. We're gonna light this one up here. Yeah, it's a hell of a party, man. Good to see support in here because everybody loves Johnny B. Plus, everybody in this room has their own private medtainer. Their own branded medtainer.
It's true, pretty
It's
much.
true.
you know, I can look around, and in the room, I've seen that everybody in this room, we've all had a great relationship over the years, and in some way or another, from help, from respect, from back and forth support. I'm looking around the room, and I've seen a lot of great friends and a lot of people that I've known over the years, even as some people I played chess with 20 years ago are sitting in the room, which is it's pretty epic, man. Like, and fully the full-on surprise.
Fun
Pretty special,
moments with
guys.
Johnny.
Feeling pretty
Surprise.
special.
There you go, brother man.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah,
That's
man,
awesome.
thanks for coming through, man. Thanks for doing what you do.
Thanks for
So-
you guys. I wouldn't be able to do it without you. With the support that I get from this community, this family. You guys this is my family birthday. This is awesome because this is my family.
And I love
I'm
doing it
talking about.
live on the air too.
Yeah,
It's even better.
That's a good look.
Yeah, we
That's a
didn't
good
get
look.
the surprise moment on the air because it was before the show, but
That
we-
was-
Call
yeah.
time, you know.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I get
it
to go
was fun.
upstairs now.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring homie G, Big C on the show here because I wanted to talk about what we did last week on
Yep,
the
yep.
show. We were out in Poco at our Cannabis Culture location there. And,
2819 Shaughnessy, Poco
That's right.
River.
And we did a veterans fundraiser
Yes.
leading up to today, or is it today? Yeah, today, this morning, which is November 11th.
Right.
Remembrance Day.
Remembrance
I
Day.
didn't remember that it was Remembrance
Remembrance
Day.
Day, until you
Right,
remembered.
Right, until I remembered.
Lest Weed Forget was
Lest-
the name of my show yesterday.
I didn't see that.
That was
That's
the
very
name
nice.
of my show yesterday.
Wow.
So tell us about what happened last week at Poco and what we ended up with.
Yeah, so last week at Porco Quitlam, we did a fundraiser for Wounded Warriors Canada, a fantastic charity that helps out military veterans or Canadian military veterans. Here, of course, there's a Wounded Warriors.
Can I get a torch?
Globally.
Get this man a torch.
He just asked for the torch. The
I
microphone
got a torch.
actually won.
I need a dab.
Anyway, they work with a lot of really important causes, and one
Torch.
of the folks we've worked with recently has been a guy named Damian Robertson,
more of that
and he's
torch.
had a lot of success with them. They're a charity that, essentially an organization that helps out, veterans who are struggling from things like post-traumatic stress injuries, amongst others, physical rehabilitative injuries, and they're a really, really good cause. And with Remembrance Day coming up, we decided that we should be doing something to give back to the community here, and we chose last week at 2819 Shaughnessy to do it. So we took all proceeds of sales from the day from that store. Took those. We also had a bunch of raffle prizes donated by Thompson Caribou, the aforementioned Smiling Buddha, Apothecary Labs. We had the Chronic Kitchen, Medtainer and Bovita dropped in some stuff. Hell, even I did too. Even I did too with some expert choice. I can't hold this. Can you pass this around the room?
Hey, wait. I'll give it to Ash.
And we had raffle tickets out through the whole week. It's been a really, really good time and a really, really successful event. I appreciate everybody who came down and who watched us last week. But the really cool thing is we got a lot of messages like, whoa, I didn't even know there was a Port Coquitlam location out there. And so the people that just see cannabis culture in
I
general.
did for a long time.
Of course you did. We've been there for a minute. We've been quietly there for a minute. But we made a little bit more news today, Jeremiah. We got Jody got in the paper again. What do you know?
Yeah. Hold on a sec here.
Yeah, I think you might be able to call it up, the article itself, or I don't know if we're going to put it in the movement here. But there was an article from the Port Coquitlam Press about the very location and our very fundraiser from last week. So we
What they have to
appreciate
say.
everybody who came out to support
I'm trying
it.
to bring the article up right here, right now. We have some internet issues in this room. Unfortunately, my
Katie's calling.
monitor. Katie's calling. Oh, shit. Okay.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Hey, you need the address? The address is 307 West Hastings. And I'm live on the air right now. Say hi to everybody on the air, Katie. They can hear you.
Apparently, I got some
Just
vintage
have
stuff
party
going
in
on.
the lounge.
What's this?
But yeah, come on
we're
by
getting it
307
together.
West
Anyway,
Hastings.
we're multitasking aplenty
Second
here.
floor.
There was an
Okay,
article
we'll
that
see you
came
soon.
out supportive
Okay,
of cannabis
bye.
culture or informative about what we've got going
That
on
was
here.
our friend Katie, awesome person. So I'm still trying to bring up this Poco article.
This is when you get drunk
I'm actually
on
gonna bring it up on
Pixie
my
sodas and Caribou syrup bar.
Oh, I'm about to pull up the Caribou syrup bar. Shout out to Thompson Caribou.
Someone just handed me a half sack of Pixie root beer infused THC drinks.
And so What else has been going on? That was a big week. Oh yeah. So I was talking about it. Yeah, we did totals. We know the totals basically.
Yeah,
so they're gonna draw the raffle tickets. Oh,
Fortnite. And hit up my rig here. What's going on?
Contraband cola, very nice.
we're going to
Pass all joints
So-
this way.
we're gonna go ahead and
There's an
draw the
article.
tickets today.
This is an article in the Tri-City News. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, right. So, article Tri-City News. This is City Police keep watch on Port Coquitlam Pot Shop. A pot shop franchise with ties to Canada's most famous marijuana activist is open on the edge of downtown Port Coquitlam. That's a shot of our cannabis culture dispensary. I'm just going to read a little bit of this article here. A pot shop franchise with ties to Canada's most famous marijuana activist is open on the edge of downtown Port Coquitlam. And the spokesperson for Cannabis Culture said the company plans to push further into the suburbs given its success in Port Coquitlam. Yesterday, Thursday, Jody Emery, wife of the so-called
Happy 420!
420. There's the 420 in the lounge. The big crew out here. There's the posse.
Single cannabis or what?
Uh,
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. We did
Happy birthday. We did it already. No, we're doing a show here, Neil. But, okay, and I was just reading about cannabis culture. What happened in Poco. Jody Emery, wife of the so-called Prince of Pot crusader Mark Emery, leader of the BC Marijuana Party, told the Tri-City News the company wants to expand into other lower mainland municipalities so people don't have to drive into Vancouver to buy marijuana. And here's a quote.
Purchase their medicine. Something's going to help them every day.
Here's a quote from Jody. We thought it would be more convenient and helpful to create jobs and economic growth in the community of Port Coquitlam, she said. We want the money to stay in the community in which we serve. So Jody's got a bunch of really great quotes in there. You guys should check that article out at tricitynews.com. It's City Police Keep Watch on Port Coquitlam Pot Shop by Janice Clay, Cleugh. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry, Janice.
So press.
That's
for Port
some press
Coquitlam.
and Poco, and it actually mentions our fundraiser in the article.
Well, the best
as
thing is they're
which
talking
pretty dope.
about the expansion and how these businesses are expanding, and now we're getting them more and more into the local areas where people are being able to access what they need. And with today being Remembrance Day and such a big push and a big acceptance on how cannabis helps veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder is a huge deal today. When I live near Abbotsford, of course, so I listen to the Washington news, and they talk all about it with veterans, what's going on with the cannabis industry down there, with all the new legalizations and with the medical system that's going on. They're really supporting veterans because they're really realizing that post-traumatic stress disorder is truly a hardcore condition and disease,
Yeah.
and more recognized now in the last 6 years than it ever has been.
It has.
And the recognition comes with the use of cannabis helping these poor veterans and other people who are suffering from not just being in a war, but from being in car accidents or being abused or falling or anything like that. There's different
helps
ways
everybody.
of PTSD that are affected, and we got to take a look at that overall for everybody.
So when we went ahead and raised all the money last week, we basically got the grand total as of yesterday was I think we sold a couple more raffle tickets.
Nice.
We can officially announce we cracked the $3,000 mark. We're gonna
That's
get-
a good job.
Right? So we're
That's
going to
awesome.
get $3,000 from Port Coquitlam's fundraiser last weekend
That's
and throughout the week
awesome.
here to Wounded Warriors Canada. Thank
That's
you
very
guys for making
cool.
it happen.
That's
$3,000.
fantastic. Stoner Advisory's in the house.
Hi.
Yeah, man, it's really cool, and really we couldn't do it without the folks who came through Port Coquitlam shop to support it. It was
Birthday
really
gifts
cool
like crazy.
that the location. Thanks to everybody who put their hard work into it to make it happen. It was a fun day. Thanks for coming out and doing the show there, Jared. That was a
Yeah,
good
it was
time.
dope. It was awesome. Actually, I think we did a really great show there, too. It was fun to show the place off. It looks great in there now.
Yep.
It's really kind of one of the more modern-looking CCs inside.
Totally.
Right here, and we're in our oldest location here. A lot of brick around here and different motifs. So,
And then, yeah, of course, for the fact we had the folks from Smiling Buddha, Thompson Caribou, Chronic Kitchen, the Apothecary Lab, the Wellness Soldier donated the book, who actually was on my show yesterday as well, too. So shouts to Cody Lindsay. Check that out.
Nice.
He made chocolate avocado mousse parfait thingies right on live on the show in the studio.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, man, it was killer.
Very
it was kills.
cool.
It was super kills. Watch the replay.
I'm really excited about that cake over there.
yeah, that
you
cake
gotta
is
see
crazy.
it here about the cake.
I get
We
to eat
haven't-
the
If somebody
pony.
takes a picture of it, I'd love to
It's
show it
I
off.
have
Our
it. It's up
cams
on my
won't
social
go.
already.
Cool.
So,
We just want to show it off.
I'm gonna eat the pony. The pony. So this is the most amazing birthday cake I have ever really witnessed.
You got a picture there?
Of course I do.
We should show that up to the cam. It's just the cam won't
20
reach.
Weedmaster right now.
And
No,
people,
not yet.
Johnny, people are telling you in the audience, in the chat on Facebook, to upload more videos.
I'm working on that. There's one coming up tonight, actually.
Oh, there is. There's more.
You get a
more
video
Johnny
tonight
videos
when
on
I
the
get
way.
home. It's everything's in the making, of course, and it's just keeping it real and showing what I'm doing.
There's
and then
Carly
the
Marley.
processes of being able to take one plant to produce the whole rim.
Yeah, that's people love your videos, John, big time, and they miss them. I miss them. We gotta start putting them on the front page of Pod TV as well.
I'm trying to figure out this whole phone thing. It's an Apple. I don't know.
Oh,
it
here
right
you
now.
gotta press the actual things. So here, I'll show this. Where's your actual birthday pics?
I just took
There it is. Okay, so let's check this cake out. So the cake features Johnny. The cake features Johnny sitting on a big medtainer. It also looks like there's a My Little Pony on it.
It does.
Which is
Surrounded by medtainers.
surrounded by medtainers
And rosin.
and buds.
And rosin. And rosin. It's pretty crazy. It's
Look at
actually
that
one of the
cake.
nicer cake. And he's smoking a fucking bong
Yeah, we definitely have to show that cake off somehow at one
without
point.
fucking it up.
Without fucking it up. She's like, we can't get the camera there. I'm
trying to hold
actually
it steady
hitting
there.
a
I'm,
ball
like,
rig. That
leaning
is a
across.
mothership.
It looks really cool.
That is probably one of the most amazing cakes made by a professional pastry chef extraordinaire.
Cake maker.
Kristen, amazing.
I'm having
It's all
cola.
infused,
The
100%.
grape. Grow up grape. Grow
I now
up
have a
grape.
6-pack of infused drinks in front of me.
CBD.
I'm gonna
huh?
definitely need a designated driver
Which
tonight.
one do you like better? The grape is the most popular.
I
That's the
wasn't
one I'm gonna
expecting
drink.
this, so
Drinking
you know what? My parking is across the street. It runs out at 5:30.
To go plug
The
Johnny's meter.
Subaru.
Well, we weren't going to do a really spectacularly long show today. I wanted to pop on and do some stuff and talk about you. So you're not allowed to leave yet, Johnny.
We got one more thing we got to talk about.
Oh yeah,
this week
we
too.
still have more to
than
talk
one.
about.
You know how much
yeah.
crowd-
No, this is okay. So there's a huge thing that happened this week. We got raided 2 days ago.
Yeah.
We got raided. One of our Toronto stores, 365 King Street West, got raided, and they arrested 4 of our staff people. They're facing charges. They were detained overnight. They seized stock and computers and even personal computers of our staff people
and cell phones.
and who use them for school and things. So they're really fucking with them. And all of the staff people had to sign
So they
waivers
take the medtainers?
agreeing not to come back and
Nope.
ever work at a cannabis culture, and say they have to sign this form. So they're really up our
Or
ass.
they'll get a $500 fine.
Or they get a fine. Yeah.
Plus, there's also been less publicized news. There's been second notifications come from the city about being in contravention of our leases and bylaw infractions
To our landlords.
to our landlords, and now they're actually going after the mortgage lenders as well too on these buildings, not just the landlords themselves. So they're really putting some quite scare tactics on
That's
and
the
trying
bank.
to get you to leave. Yeah, they're going after the banks now.
Right.
It's
So
coming heavy now. So
that's actually a big story that we should be publicizing a lot more. The fact that they're targeting the banks. Yeah, we gotta promote the shit out of that, because this is a crazy thing that our government's doing now. They're attacking all of our dispensaries because they want to eliminate the ones that are there now to make room for their buddies who they've handed control over in form of the licensed producers. And what you're going to see is Justin Trudeau wants his friends to be in control of the supply of marijuana. So this was a big marijuana coup by Justin Trudeau. That's what I'd like to call this, the cannabis coup. He's
But they gave the right for people to continue to grow their own. So as patients and people that are patients out there can apply and can grow their own. So we have different ends of how this whole system is now starting to pan out. And with the legalization upon us, I really truly believe we got to see something. We're coming in the lines of it being where everybody's able to grow their own.
And the unspoken person, unspoken activist / comedian is here, and we don't say his name on
We
the
don't
air,
say his
but
name.
you don't want any Cannagar? Hey, brother, you want?
No, he's like, I don't want that.
No, he doesn't. He only hits pure, the purest of pure.
I'm about ready to get dabbed.
That Cannagar is so
out.
sticky. Holy shit, that's awesome.
He's
Yeah.
like, smell that. Can I have that other jar? No, you get load me up.
Johnny, they just said you look.
Hi.
One of the people that's in the chat here on Facebook just said Johnny looks like the elder brother of G-Eazy. G-Eazy's older brother? Yeah, I see that.
It's my new look, man.
dirty.
That's
I like
nice.
that.
Who's this?
Chilling.
That?
That's some
Last time we were
power
all
right
sitting
there.
together, you shaved my head, remember?
I did shave your head
See?
earlier this spring.
Yeah.
You want to do it again?
What happened right here?
So go get some clippers. I'll do it again right
Nah,
now. I'm
this-
glad you kept the look, man. It's a good look for you with the shorter hair. Although it's getting long now.
I know. I need a haircut.
You need a cut.
I need
come
a
by
cut.
the crib. I'll come
It's
by
not
and cut it.
coming into focus, unfortunately.
Okay, so this is what we call really good weed.
That is really good looking weed.
It
I don't
smells
want to
really
smoke
good.
this weed anymore.
So you can see how THC like works when you smoke it, but the terpenes, watch the eyes. This is important. Watch the eyes.
Nah.
Like
What is it? What's the strain? Platinum
cookies cross Wi-Fi 43.
Platinum Girl Scout cookies cross Wi-Fi
43. And
Let's
you guys,
43.
anybody know that strain?
Let's throw a nug of that in this expert choice medtainer here.
Okay, throw that in there. Let's roll one up.
Yeah.
Here, is that yours?
You'd have to hand it. He's like, don't touch my weed.
Yeah.
There you go,
we
brother.
rolling?
I can already tell the look on his face. See the hood on him?
Yeah,
see,
wish
see
the audience.
See the
wish-
stab
We
stool?
need smell-o-vision. We really need smell-o-vision. I haven't hit
Okay.
my
Big
grape
old
soda
dad.
yet.
So you know
Johnny.
what? It's really interesting to see what's been working here. Like we just went through an election down in the United States, and there's people. I thought it was
damn,
funny.
that's
They
good.
were actually condoling people yesterday at some of the colleges where they were not letting. They didn't have to do their test. They were giving them hot chocolate.
Yep.
They're giving them days off. Like, give me a break. It's an election. It was already pre-written.
Yeah.
Didn't you already know that?
What?
I didn't
This
see that one coming.
Just saying.
elections. These elections are. I mean, we haven't talked about the fact that Trump is the new president. Greg talked about it on his show.
They're
but
warring in
what
the
that-
street.
I deliberately didn't talk about it yesterday.
What it means for cannabis is yet to be determined. If Trump
He
wants
said
to,
he'll leave it to the states and he doesn't really want to get involved with it. But if he hires Rudy Giuliani or Chris Christie, they might just
Right.
go ahead and try and get involved in
well,
it. and then
Rudy
it gets
Giuliani will
sticky.
be the new attorney general. So, we have some of the worst politicians in the United States being put in charge, and these guys are real fuck monkeys. The worst, the scum of the American political establishment. We're talking Newt Gingrich as the Secretary of State, and Rudy Giuliani, who is one of the criminals of 9/11. These guys, this is brutal stuff. So, I'm not so happy about the Trump presidency,
Rosin
but it
dry
is fun
fist.
to watch all the establishment go so nuts about it because he's not part of their crew, and to watch the mainstream American press basically lose their shit on the air every day and like don't know how to
I have no
respond and
parchment.
act to all the
There
things
should
that
be
are
some
happening.
parchment
It's
over at
pretty
that other
hilarious,
table
so.
over there.
But I'm starting to get a little high over here.
I'm eating potato chips.
Now, Johnny, I wanted to talk a little bit about you since this is your birthday show. And we don't always talk about the history of John Burfello going to things. But, Johnny, how did you get into marijuana? Is this something that you started when you were a kid?
You know what?
Did you start puffing when you were young? Or
Bye,
was this
Jen.
midlife deal? Or what? What's the
Midlife
story?
deal? No, it's probably about the age of, I don't know, very young. It was probably like grade 4, grade 5. And what it came down to is we were kids, 9 or 10.
Found something in your mom's drawer.
And a friend of mine, Anthony and Christy, they were who we grew up with. And it was me and my stepsister Karen, and their dad was growing this plant outside, and they were smoking it, and we kind of decided to pluck some leaves off of that and tried underneath of some heat lamps that we had for the rabbits because we had rabbits and chickens. I grew up on a small farm, so I've always been growing my own and harvesting food and stuff like that. And long story short, we heated this up and we couldn't roll, so we used bamboo that we had dried out on the yard.
Nice.
Yeah, it dried out the bamboo because it was really thick and it was almost worked as a pipe. We stuffed it full of weed and we lit the other end.
Nice. That's
And-
better
and-
than a pop can.
Woodsy.
And it was
Very
woodsy. And you know
outdoorsy.
what? We sit on the fence and laugh and stuff like that. And things progressed, and I started, getting more of that. And Dad found the box, got in trouble, blah, blah, blah. But been using cannabis ever since, a very young age. But then I look at people in grade 7 and grade 8, and where my era was in the mid 80s, people were on Ritalin and all that for being too, what they say, I was a go-getter. Got up and done things. You guys see how I am. You see how I got my injuries. You see how I'm working in an industry and how I am as a person. I was like that as a child, and most people like that at my age were put on Ritalin. I smoked weed, so you know what? It got me through those stages, and then later on in life, I told my dad at the age of 16 that I was going to grow and sell weed legally when I got older.
Nah.
Because he said, it's the only thing that works for me, Dad.
How did he respond?
He laughed.
Was he a smoker?
Well, let's just say that I've smoked with my father in the past. He hasn't smoked probably in 25 years.
Yeah.
But I have had him using what I used to call the frozen drops by giving him THC in different forms just to help him with his arthritis and stuff like that. He noticed he seems happier when I give it to him. So, you know what? It's kind of like spiking the old dad. But
There you go.
you know what? Keeping him happy, keeping it real. But you know what? Cannabis has been a big part of my life, and all through my life is through pain control and stuff like that. When I fell, and especially my last accident was falling 28 feet on the concrete. A lot of people know,
Yeah.
but if don't know, I suffered multiple injuries from a 28-foot fall.
Keeps falling on his head.
Broke my neck in 4 places, shattered my arm in 15, broke my back, shattered my ankle, broke all my teeth, fractured my skull. Had major injuries, and
Jeez.
they put me on a lot of pharmaceutical drugs.
Got to be careful, Johnny.
Yeah. So what led me off the pharma? Amino acids, natural supplements, converted forms of THC. Cannacaps that were brought on through Dr. Hornby, which showed
Yeah.
me how the converted forms of THC would help bind the receptors and help me with my pain control.
Yeah, we got the crew in the house.
Yeah, that's Dr. Natasha.
Oh, there's a major birthday dab coming in.
Whoa.
Look at that. Oh, we can't show it here. Show it off to that cam there. The one that's right there. Yeah. That's a birthday dab.
That's a
and
birthday
half
dab.
there.
That's a birthday
That's pretty
down.
fucking huge.
This one's going to drop me.
Johnny is going to, pass out after this one. That's okay.
Al brought me some crazy clear shit last week, a big chunk of it right mid-show, and it just almost stopped it right there in the tracks, man.
Nice.
I don't know about you guys, these big giant globs coming in from time to time.
You got to get
The
that
glob.
burning good.
It's the
I'm
glob.
gonna
Where's
heat
your
up for a
torch?
dab.
So, what is that?
That's tasty right now.
It just gets a head nod and a smile.
So this is
That's
awesome.
That's how good
Dr.
this is.
Natasha
Head
and
nod,
them came
smile.
in, and that's really cool to see.
Nice. We got quite a crew here. I will show that the whole room off in a couple minutes after the nameless, faceless one moves from the vision of the camera. Johnny,
Well, this is truly a treat to have this many friends and family that I always call Cannabis as my family to be around here on a day like this. It's pretty cool.
this thing's
and I know
fucking
it's a
dope
busy
too,
day.
man.
That's tasty.
Right? Yeah, we got the birthday one for Johnny B. But because
Oh, baby, that's
you know,
nice.
you know how I roll.
So, speaking of, I want to.
dab right now.
Johnny's gonna do this dab. Craig, I wanted to talk about our next fundraiser.
Yeah, let me quick talk about that for a second, then I'll let you get on the show. I know more people want to grab the seat. We had such fun with this last one here, and it's such a good cause, and it's that season. And like Jody has said, part of the mandate of the company, which everybody associated with the company fully supports and backs, is the concept of giving back. I mean, really, you look at all the gajillions of dollars Mark made and how much of that went back into the movement and funding and supporting other causes and cultures. And it's just a continuation of all the work that everybody does, because it is a community. And if we don't support each other, we do have no support at all. Here, Neil, pass this along for a second.
This is like the birthday
Okay,
dab.
but,
That's going to kill me.
And so the next initiative that we're going to come up with here,
You're driving,
that
honey.
we announced yesterday, live on Pot TV, was the non-perishable food donations and gently used clothing items, preferably jackets and towels and socks.
Anything with a weed logo on it is good.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But basically,
Here we go. Johnny's doing his birthday dab.
Johnny with the birthday dab.
Giant birthday dab for
Happy
Johnny.
birthday dab for
Happy
Johnny.
birthday dab
Yeah, so you're gonna
to
come in.
you.
You're gonna bring us some lightly used goods and/or some non-perishable food items, and more details will come out. But we'll give you back something for it.
So it's a clothing/food drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we're gonna support it. And if everybody who comes in and does that, you will get a something or a something towards a something. Or I don't know, we'll figure it out still to come, but that's the next thing to announce. It'll either start maybe.
But we don't know what the giveaway.
Well, the whole thing's going to announce on the 15th. Really,
Right.
kind of. We're getting it almost the mechanics of it now. But something like you bring in a couple of cans or something like that.
And
you
we
get a
take
buck
names,
off or
then you put your
something,
name
and
in the jar when you put something in, kind
we
of
can maybe
deal.
do that too.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Right, we can do a few different things.
If
We
you
can do
bring
little
an item
raffles.
in, you fill out a form, put it in the box, and then we'll draw from the.
Do some prizes. Maybe if you bring in a certain amount of goods, or we'll give you something off your purchase, or I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
But the point is, we're going to do that.
that's
next
announced
week.
on the 15th.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
That's
next
coming up.
Tuesday. Yeah, man. So next week we're gonna have that. Basically, we're
phone
gonna figure
is
out the rest of the
broke,
mechanics this weekend. But we decided that that's the one that's got to be.
Yeah.
And thank you for everything. Obviously,
That
we're
was
gonna do it
a
at
Starburst
as many
tab.
of the CC locations as we can. We'll talk to Toronto as well too if they want to get down on it, or anybody
Why
who
isn't
can.
the one in Abbotsford?
Yeah.
Well,
We've
the one in
got
Poco is gonna do it.
We have a big announcement coming on the 18th as well. The 18th of this month, there's another big announcement that Cannabis Culture will be making. I can't give away too many secrets yet.
Could be a couple big announcements.
Could be a couple big announcements, but at least one big announcement. There's basically an announcement every couple days. What's that?
Yeah, the chief.
What?
Oh, the lady right here.
Oh, your boss? You want?
No, not the chief. She's chief of one.
Oh, I see. I see what you're pointing at.
Yeah, I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah.
Amazing lady.
So yeah, we're not gonna get you. You can donate a Meditainer shirt if you want. We want you to keep them for yourselves, just like we want you to start getting some higher gear, which we'll talk about soon. And I do like that Pure Hemp shirt. Shouts out to the guys that smoke.
We're all branded up.
Pure Hemp,
branding.
Cannabis Culture,
Meditainer,
Branding 101. That's what we do.
We're all branded.
I want you guys to come on out and support this and give back to the community, because remember, if we don't support each other, we have no support at all.
Exactly. It's like people by numbers change governments, and they change society. They change life. We're the ones that can make the difference.
Waxy Sanchez says it's his birthday too. Wants a shout out. Happy birthday, Waxy Sanchez.
Happy birthday, Waxy Sanchez.
Happy birthday. There's a shout out.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. He
We
needs
love
more
doing
dads.
Apparently, I
We love
need
our
another
fans.
one.
And you need more guests. So I think, Jared, we talked about everything you want to talk about for me. Some. We good?
I think so. Did we? I don't know.
I had Opus. Oh, I had Opus on the show yesterday.
I saw that.
Opus is gonna be coming back pretty soon.
Opus is Pot of Gold, a new show on Pod TV coming up. We're just working on it
Plus
right now.
12 High Chicks has the Mom Cup coming up in February,
Yep.
which he came and handed out some passes. So stay tuned. He'll be on coming shows very soon to talk more about it. And we got Carly over here.
And I'm going to be at the Mum Cup as well as one of the 12 High Chicks, of course.
yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. Really excited to get together with all those girls.
There's
'cause
Ash,
it's
there's
super
Ashley.
awesome crew. So that's going to be
Organizer of the party.
a lot of fun.
Hi, Hash.
And very affordable.
Hi,
$100
Ashley.
cup.
Thanks,
$100
Aaron.
judges
That's
pack, man.
that's dope, Carly. We're gonna. We'll probably bring you on the show to get high in a little bit as well and give you a microphone.
Yeah.
We only have 3 mics out here right now, but
So
One,
why
two,
don't I
three.
give it off to somebody else? Because other than check me out next Thursday, where we're going to have, I think, Amy Schumann with some footage from the MJ BizCon going down in Vegas.
Oh, very nice.
Amongst other things. Shouts to Schumann. We'll be doing it
Schumann
here.
shouts.
Shouts to Johnny B, man. Appreciate the everything you've done, man. It's been a pleasure.
she should have a show called The Schumann Show.
The
Schumann show?
I think
Like the
Cheryl
Truman Show?
does, but
Cheryl Schumann show.
but,
Oh, does
yeah,
she?
I think
Oh.
knowing Cheryl, she probably.
Oh,
would.
okay, yeah, probably. You're
Sh-
right.
Shouts to everybody involved. But yeah, Johnny, it's been a real pleasure, man, getting to know you and shaving your head and everything and working with you. Get
Shaving
yourself some
my
That's
head.
the
meditainers.
memories.
Make sure you can go ahead and get yourself
Getting to know you and shaving your head.
and getting some meditainers off you, like the expert joints one. Soon, higher meditainers soon to come. We'll talk more about all that soon. Enjoy the birthday, enjoy the cake, man, and enjoy this
Thank you.
year and the next year to come and many more years. I'm glad that you're feeling better in the last year. So this is a whole new chapter you're turning, man. I mean, welcome
Oh
to
hell
it.
yeah! It's definitely been a big thing, which was I was heading into with the, the story what a lot of people have gotten to know and who have gotten to know me over the years and stuff like that, and how cannabis truly turned around and saved my life, where the plant became my way, got me out of bed every day, that helped me with my recovery. So much of what happened after my fall, right? So
Yeah.
there's such more of a story of how the whole plant and the community is what supported me more than what we would call an industry, which is our healthcare system and WorkSafe BC and the whole.
But
ring
you're
around for me.
you're a businessman, Johnny. So when you got into the community, you started as a medical marijuana patient, or you started as a person who smoked weed, medical marijuana patient. But then you quickly got into the business side of it, and because you saw opportunities to help other people. And I think that your love for this movement kind of is what makes you excel at the business you do.
And
so.
is why this room is full of people.
Exactly.
So thank you very much,
Here,
brother.
let's look at that
Hashtag
room.
love you, bro.
Ha.
The 420 Weedmaster, get at him and get you. Check him out, medtainer_Canada on Instagram as well too. 420 Weedmaster on Instagram, and don't forget Bovida Inc. You don't want to forget
There
them
we
as
go.
well too.
Yeah, I'm doing both.
All over everything. See you next Friday here on Cannabis Culture News, friend. Thank you much, man. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't even say you're vintage
see
yet.
Neil there.
I mean, technically we're vintage at 25, but that's a whole nother.
That's collector's plates.
that's collector's
You can get your
cars and
collector's
shit.
plates.
15
so
in certain parts. Is that it? We good?
I thought it was 25.
Depends on the rarity of the car.
I guess. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's all in the car.
All right, I gotta go get higher. We'll catch you guys later.
Peace, homie. So I thought we could bring Mr. Neil Magnuson on
Neil.
here because Neil hasn't been on the show for a while. Magnuson,
You made it.
Big Neil.
Yeah, no one thought I'd ever make it either. I never thought I'd get this far.
Keep making it. It's a very, very
Keep-
special day today.
Keep making it.
Special day for Johnny's birthday
November.
and for the rest of us here in Canada and in the States. I think it's Veterans Day.
It is.
Yes.
But
it is.
this is the day when we pay homage to those that have been willing to lay their lives down on the line and fight for the freedom that we're fighting for still, right? I mean, so this is a very, very huge day today in respect to that. So.
Yeah, and actually right across the street from cannabis culture here at 307 West Hastings, we have the War Memorial at Victory Square Park, and that's where Vancouver does its Remembrance Day celebration.
Yeah.
So this morning we had the whole parade crew out there, just a big gathering, and they do a little march thing and play the tunes.
I mean, it's quite an interesting day. These are interesting times for sure. I recently had the honor of attending the memorial for Gail Quinn on the island.
Yes.
We're
Gail, an amazing activist.
We miss her a lot, except that she's alive and well with her spirit, moving through all of us as it continues to do, which is what happens when you live a life like that. It transcends the normal permanence that death brings to most people. But on the way back, I had an interesting conversation with some people from Texas. They asked what that red flower was that so many of us were wearing, and I said, well, that's a symbol of hypocrisy here in Canada. That's where the particular medicine that we make from that drug that helps people with their emotional pain is criminalized, demonized, and prohibited. And yet once a year we put it on our chest and use it to celebrate the efforts of those that went and fought and died in the world wars. And we went on from there to talk about that and just how we've come this far and where we're at and what's going on. And still, we're under the thumb of these public servants, but actually they're levers for the corporate elite that we've always been fighting. They are the enemy of freedom. The war is far from over. And what we really need to do, and I think we're waking up and we're going to get there by the looks of it. We'll see what Mr. Trump does. Maybe he wants to champion the cause of unraveling the corporate corrupt system that we're all under. Maybe not.
Sure.
Or maybe
Trump
he's part
really
of it.
We'll
wait and see. At least he's not as much of a done deal as Hillary.
He's the most corrupt motherfucker out there. He's the most totally corrupt guy.
He probably is.
And he wears it proudly and cheats on his taxes or whatever. He outskirts every little law he can.
But he's crazy all over the place on the board of what's right and wrong. And he's different than Hillary in that she's just the old line. And I wouldn't have wanted her in there either. It was a no-win situation. Now it's going to be volatile, maybe dangerous, and we'll see.
What's remarkable to me, though, is that Trump has been able, with such a fascist rhetoric, with anti-Muslimism, anti-Mexican, all his racist shit, his misogyny, with all of the harsh things that he says about other people and the way he acts as a bully, and just his international politics. He's been able to, with all that, somehow dupe the libertarian movement in the United States, the Alex Joneses, the people who were the paradigm breakers of yesteryear. He's been able to convince them that he is good in some fashion by saying the most horrific things.
I know.
And I just don't understand how he appeals to such a large group of people.
Well, these are the disconnected and disaffected and oppressed people of the world. It's the same thing going on all around the world. You see it in Britain with the Brexit, and it's just a movement of wanting the old to leave. It's enough already of this corrupt corporate fucking system.
And
I know he's not the answer. He could be the complete opposite of the answer.
Don't you find it strange that he's an anti-establishment candidate, but but so is Hitler, though. But Hitler was an anti-establishment candidate, and Trump is extremely Hitlerian. He is basically the reincarnation of Hitler in the modern age with the same rhetoric.
So can they get away with it again, I guess, is the question. Can that type of an attitude of corruptness get away with it again? I don't know.
And people like Rainbow John are Trump supporters. So he's managed to convince people who are usually people of compassion.
Are they Trump supporters, or were they just, we'd rather have Trump than Clinton?
No, he just told me he thought it was the second coming of Jesus Christ, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like, this is what our Lord has given us, or some it's just crazy shit. So
he is well tanned. Maybe he did come straight from heaven. I don't know, but holy shit, I don't know what to think.
I
know
bet
he's
we have
volatile.
we have a lot of American people watching the show, and I'm sure a lot of you guys like Trump out there. But how can you like a guy with the rhetoric he has? And look what he's going to do. He said he wants to. The people he's putting in charge of a campaign, first of all, are the most brutal people. When did Alex Jones ever get on board with Rudy Giuliani? Yeah.
It's crazy.
Or Chris Christie, or Newt Gingrich, for God's sake. These people
within
are
all of that, there is some
things
that we do identify with in his
Right, and he's managed to co-opt our movement.
Are we talking about weed here?
Yeah, I know.
Well, we kind of are talking about weed because weed is the big symbol for what we're really talking about, which is being free as human beings, right?
I hate
weed has always been, for me, the symbol of freedom. And the prohibition of weed has always been the most glaring and obvious example that we're not free, right?
Yeah.
So at least we're getting weed in here now.
There's very interesting times that we're living in. California now legalizes for recreational use, that subset of medicine that we all wanted to have legalized. And we always thought that as a benchmark. If that could happen, well, the whole world's got to end this stupid prohibition and probably of all drugs. And through that, we get our freedom. That's what we're really wanting, is our freedom. Public servants are not our fucking bosses, goddammit. And that's what the world needs to wake up to. That Donald Trump is not in charge of us now. He's not the boss, right? He doesn't get to fucking fire us.
I wish it was that way.
He's taken the job of being our servant.
Yeah.
And there's a purview within servants with which servants operate. And that's where we need to keep our public service, or get them back into that, or get them if they've ever been in there.
Yeah, right, but they are not. They are our masters.
Never been.
They are our masters. And you think Trump feels more like a servant to us or more like a master
Well, I know,
of us?
and he needs to be more of a servant. They need to be servants.
But he is not the type of person who wants to be someone's servant.
But he could.
Believe me. He lives in a gold
This is an opportunity
tower.
for him to be the best president ever, to historically change and unravel all this corporate greed that has twisted our supposed democracy into a dumbocracy.
Well, good luck on that. You know, the policies that he's basically committing to now are not good. He comes out and says he wants to silence the press that's critical of him. Like, what more fascistic ideas do you need?
Scary stuff that he has said.
No, this guy is right. He wants to. He said when they asked him about Putin, and they were referencing the fact that Putin has political opposition imprisoned, which is something that Trump said he wants to do during the election, imprison Hillary Clinton. And they asked him about the missing journalists in Russia and in other places that are critical of Putin. Trump actually said, no, he's a great leader. And he said we should be more like him. Americans kill a lot of people too, you know. That's what he said. So there you go. That's the answer from this guy. So anyways,
in that position of power, he could kill a lot of people, and a lot of people are in danger for sure. And so is all of our freedoms. We'll just have to do the best we can. The war is not over for us yet. The interesting collision course coming up here with, the freedoms to use weed and all that brings with it, and now what he represents most likely. Right. It's always been my big beef is that these people think they get to be in charge. That woman that ran in Burnaby for mayor that thought she could outlaw any signs of public affection between people. And now we've got, in Niagara on the Lake, there's a bylaw there where you're responsible for the leaves on the trees in your yard. So, you got to go get them if they blow into the neighbor's yard, except, nope, that's trespassing. So now they're going to amend that bylaw to make it so that you're responsible for those leaves to keep them from going into your neighbor's yard. So people are either going to cut down the tree or get up there with clippers and cut them down just before fall happens. I don't know. But who the fuck are these people? They're servants. They're operating outside of that box and in a box where they think they're masters, and that's our battle. That's our job for the future to come, is to make sure that we get those people to be limited in their powers, accountable for what they do, transparent in everything that they do, and their job is to respect the rights of every individual, no groups, just individual people. All of us have a right not to be bullied, especially by the people we're paying to keep us from being bullied. So it's upside down and backwards still, but, we'll unravel it down the road. Hey, Johnny, happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you. It is next week, but this is a surprise, so this is awesome.
And you were totally surprised. Have you told your story 100%. On air yet about how you were surprised when you got here and they're
doing a
show and that? Did you tell us that story?
He was very surprised.
Yeah, I was totally surprised.
He was shocked. He actually came around the corner in the office that's next to us here, looking for the studio. Looked through the window.
And there's no one in the studio.
There's no one in the studio. It looks like the show's not going to happen.
I was like, what's going on? So I called Jeremiah.
He called me.
And Helena walked around the corner. I'm like, what's going on? I came around the corner. You guys are all looking. I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden,
the crowd was here.
Yeah, it didn't take long. We were yelling happy birthday.
Yeah, and they ran happy birthday. And I was like, it's not my birthday. And I'm like, that's because it's a surprise.
Here's the crew.
Because it's not really your birthday. You're what, June?
No, it's actually in 10 days.
Johnny's party. There's a whole other table of people over there dabbing up to.
We're going to do this all over again next
21st. It's on a Monday.
Oh.
And there's balloons everywhere.
No, I won't be here.
Oh, well.
No, Johnny's going to be gone. I'm going to actually be in Toronto next week as well.
I see.
I won't be here, but so next Friday.
People could actually tune in 10 days from now and watch the show, as if it was happening right then and there, and they'd be watching your birthday surprise party on your birthday.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, just watch this
Technology
show.
is wonderful.
10 days from now.
All right. So who's up next?
That's a good question. I think Cindy is coming up next, actually. I wanted to bring Cindy up to talk about an award that MJ Creams won. So I wanted to bring her on to talk about it.
I also am excited about the Mom Cup coming up as well.
The Mom Cup, that's going to be really awesome. The mail order marijuana cup. It's different. It's going to be interesting to see.
Well, not that much different, really, because anybody can enter, and everybody should enter, because getting a cup in that particular competition is just as prestigious as any other.
What makes it the mail order marijuana cup if you don't have to be mail order to enter?
Just to say
Just
mail
a
order
name.
marijuana.
Yeah, good.
Why
It's
not?
good. I like it.
Because anybody could have their weed as mail order. Anybody could, and dispensaries
Well,
could
anybody
start
could,
mailing
but-
out weed.
Anybody could, but they or don't they?
So the only people who can enter are people who already have mail out.
That's not true. No, that's not true. You can enter if you think you can win. You can enter, and maybe one day your strain will be offered on a mail order marijuana website.
There you
and
go.
You'll have that little image of the beautiful cups beside it that you've won with your strain.
That's some
it's
delicious
valuable
pot
for anybody that wants some recognition for what they're doing, and not necessarily for who they are for what they're doing, but for their brand, right? I mean, it's more about a brand, and certainly people's identifications for those that want to be kept secret are going to be kept secret. And there's going to be 12 high chicks there, beautiful women that will accept the award on your behalf.
Nice. There you go.
And it's special in a lot of ways. There's cash money going out with the prizes this time. So it's not just the prestige of winning the cup, but there's some serious cash money, like well over $1,000 is going to be on the table here.
Yeah.
And then there's tickets that are being given away. As was said before, it's $100 a ticket to go. But there's also judges' passes. Then there's different levels of judges' passes. And some of those are going to be given away over the next month or two. And I know one of them includes $1,000 cash to get your ass from wherever you are in Canada to here to Vancouver to witness the Cup. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome time. I really look forward to this.
J-Mac attack.
J-Mac broke the standard gun.
This particular joint is broken, is what he's
Show
saying.
it off to this one, J-Mac.
Yeah, that thing hit so many people.
He broke it. Oh, that's okay, J-Mac.
Oh, dear.
It happens. That's drug abuse.
Yeah.
But that's okay. These things happen. That thing can be Band-Aid.
I got
You
my
just
hands to work
get a
like
pot
it.
leaf, lick it, slap it on
there you
there,
go.
and you're
Okay.
good to go. Oh, there you go.
And he wants the
Can you
pony.
hold
Keep the
that
pony for
up?
him, too.
Is that going to fall over somehow? Show it off to the cam there, Johnny boy. Look at that. It's Johnny sitting on a medtainer, a little higher. Oh, look at that. Johnny sitting on a medtainer, and he's got his mothership, the mothership in his hand. That is fantastic. And you are the creator
That's
of
beautiful.
this amazing cake?
Yeah, John's a longtime friend and a very good friend, and you've got to do good things for good people, and, he's done great things for me too, so it's pretty rad. Happy birthday, John.
That's one of the most amazing cakes I've ever seen. I've never seen so much work or actual custom design go into it in such a 3D fashion with little figurines. This is something you do professionally, or?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I do cakes on the side just for fun. For the most part, it's friends and family, wedding cakes all through my life. I'm a pastry chef, so yeah, it's I play with sugar every day, and it's a lot of fun. So
Can you tell us a little bit about the
Very nice.
process involved in making what looks to be shatter on the cake?
Yeah,
there?
how do you make this stuff?
well, it's all sugar. There's a little bit of toothpick, you could say, and for some structure in there. But the shatter's just like sugar that we have in my world of pastry. So you add a little bit of decarb coconut oil, and you pull. Just when the rosin came out, it was everything that we do, and I giggled with John about it because it's my world. So even the little his warrior, what is it? Your bong.
Yeah, your mothership.
The mothership. Thank you, with the warrior. The mothership. Oh, gosh. So anyway, I just had fun, and I know John, so, I'm surprised he's not wearing his sunglasses right now.
I had them on too.
They're always on his head, though, not on his eyes. Yeah, and that shatter, so that's actually sugar shatter, but it's
It is. It's actually, I infused it. Why not? So
And made with a rosin.
edible shatter.
yeah, exactly. And then the cake is a chocolate, gluten-free chocolate cake, so it's friendly to all in that sense. Potentially, cannabis-free and cannabis-friendly. So
That is very cool. Great work. Amazing work. And can people find you online somewhere? Do you have these creations online somewhere? Or can people find you to do work if they want an amazing cake? Or?
Yeah, no, it's pretty much by who you know. I'm on Facebook, and I have curly hair, and I'm, bubbly. You could find me if you wanted to.
Do you want to give away your Facebook?
Oh, well, I'm Kristen Tonks. Kristen Gerkovitz. Married to I'm failing. Married 3 months ago. So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. How funny. I'm just not used to saying it too much yet. So, it's, that's my hubby over there. He's dishing out some cake while I'm over here chatting with you guys. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for letting us know about the cake, too. Thank you very much. That was awesome. It was great talking with you. And great work on the cake. Can't wait to try it. And there's little buds, too. Do a bud shot here. This is a little cake bud.
Look at the crystal on that bud. Can you get that to focus on the crystal? Because it looks so much like the crystals that we're like in here, too.
It is. It looks like little trichomes.
That cake is amazing.
It's
and
cool.
there's quite a
That's awesome.
There's
Johnny.
quite a comparison between the two. Just like you said, there's a comparison between the rosin process of making a rosin with cannabis and making rosin with sugar. That crystal that we're attracted to, that beautiful shiny crystal, on the side of sugar, is extracted and refined and sprinkled on everything, and and that's that glitter and shine. And there's a real parallel between that and the crystal of cannabis, because the crystal of sugar is representative, even though it's no longer there, of an entourage of other things and other sugars that are very healthy, and not just healthy. We require them. They are our fuel and our food.
Yeah.
And
you
so
need them to live.
And same with cannabis. The crystal that we see on the buds is representative of that entourage of cannabinoids that is what we use as medicine. Thank you so much.
This looks amazing. Chocolate layers.
So yeah, we sort of got that gleam in our eye for that gleam on the bud, and that gleam on the plant that is the sugar and is the medicine that we use.
The cake. That's the most amazing cake. Okay, so one thing is I got some great friends, and Kristen was an amazing friend. I know her sister very, very well. Known all the way through like high school. It's
Oh yeah.
And we're going back. I've known this family from over 25 years.
Have you had other cakes from her?
Yes. Different cakes, nothing like this. I know she's this is what she does for a living. She is definitely a pastry chef, and she specializes in cakes. She teaches it too. So, isn't that good?
It's delicious.
It's amazing, and people are missing out. You gotta try the cake, guys. It's amazing. Everybody like the cake? Oh yeah. If you would look around here, everybody is eating cake.
And let them eat cake, I say.
Everybody's eating cake. Jared's like, I'm not pressing the button, man. I'm eating cake.
Oh, you want to see? Here. Cake eaters.
Hetty's waiting for her cake.
They're either eating cake or they're getting cake to eat.
Yeah. There's
Yeah. Everybody's lined up for cake.
There's Carly's foot. All right.
On a Remembrance Day on a Friday, hard to get people out, and it's it's great to see a lot of great faces.
And the way she described this to me, you could eat this for dinner.
Yeah. It's good for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's gluten-free, all that. Just amazing cake. Joe, what's going on there? You missing some pieces of there?
It's so good. I'm not done yet.
It's so good.
We may never be
done. Definitely. So, this is lightly infused, too, so it's not heavy dosages, but it's enough to make you feel a little bit happier. You know what I mean? It's amazing what we can do in today's industry with the flavors we can bring out with infused baked goods and stuff like that. They have everything lab tested properly through the lab company.
Can I have a bite of your shatter?
Yeah, go ahead.
Lab tested.
Oh, sugar shatter.
What do they test for?
Oh, there we go.
THC levels per milligram.
This is sugar shatter.
Sugar shatter.
There will be
Sugar shatter.
It's amazing.
And it will get you high.
And it will get you high.
So this is medicated?
It is actually. It is.
Oh, right. The shatter is, but is the whole thing, the rest of it is too?
Everything is.
Oh, okay.
The buds are not, apparently.
Oh, the buds are not.
The THC has been removed from the buds. Well,
That's funny.
Not that it was ever in that particular
candy
bud. Oh, yeah. It's just a candy. Wow.
I hate the bud.
Nice.
That is awesome. So damn delicious. So,
definitely some pure sugar.
apparently,
You need your
there's
microphone.
some good weed in this bag as well. Hey, Carly, Marley,
More weed
grab a
in the bag.
mic. Grab Neil's mic for a second. Tell me what I got in this bag.
Pardon? What was that? Can't hear you.
What do I have in this bag? Can you
Oh
tell
my
us?
goodness, I can't remember all the strains. There are
I love
so many
it.
strains
Mike,
in there.
Mike is doubled up. He's got 2.
He's got 2.
He loves chocolate.
I see Trainwreck here.
I put about a nug of each strain, but I think I put six or 8 strains in there. So
Trainwreck.
there's quite a variety.
We have Orange Crush. And it's actually orange. The weed is orange. It has
It is
orange little
super
leaves all
orange.
over it.
Really, it's a bunch. It's like really dense, little nuggety weed that like those hard
White
little
Romulan.
buds. It's really nice.
That's White Romulan.
Good.
These are all from Cannabis Culture on Davie Street. Yeah, Cannabis Culture Davie. And actually, you'll find some of these strains at our other Cannabis Culture locations, including some in Toronto as well.
Even Mark shows up. Bubbleman just walked
Oh,
in.
Bubbleman's
That's
in the
awesome.
house. This is the Dark Side OG we have in the baggie. And what else do we have here?
Oh, yeah, let him in here.
We have, Bubbleman's in the
Mark,
house.
he's coming.
Good to see you, brother, man. See you, dude. Good to see you. How it goes? Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good.
Come on in and
We'll
check
get
this
you on the
out.
show
This
for a
is
sec.
hilarious.
Mango Haze. Yes. Yeah. Tap dancing. She's a
Kicking
wild tap
Prohibition's
dancer.
butt.
It's me hitting
Yeah, I love that.
Dude, did you
Bubbleman's in the house.
You notice how completely cooked you look at the end of Puff Wednesday this last week?
Yeah, I know.
Iced grapefruit.
It's hilarious to
Bubbleman.
say the least.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing really good. I'm a little late. I got to go get my mom at the airport in Abbotsford
That's awesome.
in a little bit, which was crazy because of course John being from Abbotsford, he's like, I'll pick her up and blah blah blah. I'm like, no, I think you're doing something. I don't.
yeah, don't let him not do the
Pretty
job.
sure
I think you're doing something. I know, it was hard not to
It was
spoil
a total
the surprise.
for me, like 100%.
Yeah, he was clueless when he came in.
Completely clueless.
So, Bubbleman. Oh, that's a good
Nice.
picture.
Hey, I know her. She's the master. The master
there.
chef.
What do you got in the case there, brother?
Just my pipe. I'll pull my pipe out so I can have a dab or two.
Dab or two.
Dab or two.
Very nice. And so, of course, Bubbleman, you're the star of Hash Church on Sundays.
Well, you know what? I really feel Johnny B is the star.
Oh,
of
Johnny's the
Hash Church.
star.
And I'm just I don't know what I am. I'm the host, I think.
You're like the.
I think the best part about Hash Church is everybody is our host, and we're all people that are educating everybody. I think it was just the way the platform came about, and the idea, and how you came, how it all progressed, and it's just an amazing way of transferring information amongst like-minded individuals in the industry that share the same passion, which is cannabis for what we all believe in and a cause.
Lovely, lovely.
I'm following the chatters here. They loved the different strains of weed we were just showing off.
OG Kush dabs?
OG Kush tabs, yeah. It's kind of my favorite.
And is that some terpenes I see
My
there?
favorite.
Yeah, we got some OG Kush, some Blue River extracts. Then we got that sour tangy rosin.
Nice.
Oh, sour tangy.
Wow. So speaking of terps there, soon in the future, I've talked about it on the show a couple times, we're planning on doing a terp show coming up. We haven't been able to put it together yet. But Johnny and Mr. Cookie's involved, and we were talking about getting Mr. Bubbleman involved too.
Yeah, depending on when you do it, I could potentially be around. I'm gonna go check out that Cannabis Cup there, the Roots Rastafari Festival in Jamaica next month.
Nice.
So, but other than that, I don't think I'm going away much.
Not going to
Much at all.
Columbia?
No, not going to Columbia.
No, everybody's passed on the Columbia trip.
Oh, do really? Oh, yeah. It was
you
such
know
a.
what? It's I know it's not that time, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's kind of
next time.
it's a bit of a trip.
It's a bit of a trip. It's government.
We
you
just
know,
got
all
out of
that's going
Cuptober
on.
too, so
Yeah, there's and then
Endless.
there's already events coming up in February, March, April, May, June next year.
yeah, I know we're starting to plan
so definitely
420 already.
You know, 110%.
Yeah.
So I'm always excited. So this is cool. So this is the new 10-second dab.
10-second
Well,
dab.
see, I always heat up my stuff for 40 seconds, a minute, get it all red, and then get ready and do the
Right.
whole dab.
But that's not how we're doing it anymore.
Well, no, he's got this little different format.
What's the format?
Boom.
Just heat it up. You don't heat it up red hot, and you don't have to wait as long.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that seems like a pretty sensible thing
It's
to
a
do.
solid
It
format.
seems
We've all been sitting there
sensible.
torching this thing. I was like, get it red, let it cool down for 45 seconds.
Yeah, why is it that people? I
Well,
guess because
here it
you
is.
knew it
It
was
hits me
red and you
first.
could time it properly, right? So, Bubbleman, do you just count then, like how long you blast it for?
When you hit it for that short amount of period, you don't really have to time it much. You can pretty much hit it within 5 seconds of blasting it.
And I mean, it's not going to be too much. It's not going to be too little if you just do it that way. You just got to hit that sweet spot. Got to use your intuition with these things.
Seems to work out.
Yeah. And what was that that he was hitting there? That
was a little 6-star SFOG 90 micron bubble hash from the West Coast concentrate, dipped in some sour tangy flower rosin, dipped in some OG Kush Blue River terpenes.
Very nice. Wow.
Just killer.
Very cool. So, Johnny's hitting a lot of birthday dabs. Are you high enough yet, John? How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Until he's like incoherent, it's not high enough really. But Johnny, I've seen you getting pretty. You have been pretty high lately. Mark was just mentioning one, but I've seen you.
There's some good ones.
Yeah.
If you really want to see an amazing one, it's when we go to the Squamish gondola. And we're walking around. We've got the Ruhr bag with the pipe in it, and we're doing like what we call bag hits, where the pipe's just sort of sitting out of the Ruhr bag, and we're just walking the trails, taking bong rips.
Nice.
And at one point, we sat at a kitchen, or not a kitchen, a picnic table.
Yeah.
And John's like at this point, like he's just like this, like completely destroyed.
He gets the drunk face on.
Yeah, he's almost drunk, but not drunk, like just John stoned.
Yeah.
And what he says, you have to go back and I even repeat it in the video. I go backwards and then say, "Did you catch that?" Because what he says is this like brilliant, almost like roomy type shit. It's just like you got to go in when you do it, and when you do it, you got to do it the way you do it, and that's just the way you got to do. Like I don't know exactly what it is, but it's some funny shit.
Some Yogi Berra.
It's some funny shit.
Yeah. Nice.
We always have a great
character.
time and doing what we love to do, and taking people on adventures with the videos. And what we're doing is a lot of fun, man. It's taking you to those epic parts of nature, and just like we all stoners do. You know what I mean? We go and have a good time. You know what? We just reminisce and talk about it, and it's a great way of being able to share.
Well, you
100%,
gotta upload some more videos soon, Johnny boy. Everybody's asking.
You know what? But you know what? Things only grow so fast.
Yes, it's true.
Right. So
You're right.
and then that's just the way things work. Things only grow so fast, and as things grow, more things come out, more content, which is one coming out right now on Nemesis and stuff like that. We're talking about Western flowering thrips and what happens in the fall and in different gardens. So there's a little education on that and what I always experience. So
There you go.
always more. You know what I mean? It's always a great thing to talk about. And that's what I love to do is grow my own. Like, I mean, with everybody out there, if you're not growing your own, learn how to. If you like the plant, you should get involved with it. Educate yourself, learning.
There's
get
a
the
lot-
passion behind it. There's so much more to it.
The act of
meets the
growing
eye.
alone, you learn a hell of a lot.
It's a lot of it's a lot of work, that's for sure. But it's a lot of fun too if you have the time and the passion for it.
So there's a C-Ray in the audience says, Skunkman says, too many terps reduces high quality. Was just reading today, this person. What do you think about that concept?
Well, there are certain terps that we don't necessarily want. And how we know that is why we have an entire industry on curing the herb. Curing the herb releases these lighter monoterpenes and terpenoids that are almost like a blanket to the lighter terpenes that are underneath that are revealed in the curing process, where you can get something that kind of smells hayish and not that great, and then a week or two goes by properly cured, and you squeeze it and you're like, oh my God, like what? That's unbelievable. So that's also the differences in cured hashes when you get these terpene profiles completely changing and altering over the course of 1 and 5 and 10 plus years, which I have hash in all of those categories at my house.
And they're tasty.
They change really uniquely. Like
The
it's
colors
it's
are
profound.
amazing.
Yeah, the colors are purple and red and
It's so amazing the way the color changes.
a lot of degradation going on in there, CBN and that reddish color, but also a lot of unique flavor profiles.
And then so it takes, I mean, why, it's such a long period of time that with something to change, like, how does that go on indefinitely? I mean, how long can these things actually change?
Well, I guess eventually they're going to disappear to the point. It's also how you cure it. I've taken this hash and I've cured it in a multitude of ways just to learn, like, what's it going to cure like in a glass container versus like a plastic container versus a wood container versus no container out in the air, open on my desk. I had a piece for like 6 years, and it just flattened by gravity and turned into this disc that almost looks like a rosin puck.
Yeah, it does.
But it's insane. Like when you taste it, it's the most perfumey, incredible tasting hash that generally the other hashes that I've had that are that old have lost a lot of their terpene profile and have not managed to hold that. So who's to say why one was one thing and another does another, you know?
And that's kind of, I mean, it's such an unknown science right now. And Mark, that's one thing that I think that you've kind of been on the forefront of this, you know, for basically forever on this end, especially with hash, is that understanding of what is really behind what cannabis really is, you know, analyzing it up close. Like just your photography alone has an analytical quality to it, right? Because, I mean, it's looking at things real close up. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're doing a show. Yeah, they forgot we were doing a show. That's okay. Maybe you can turn it on, but just don't have it so loud or something. But yeah, I mean, this is something you've been doing for a long time.
Yeah, I think the photography really helped me step it up in 2008 when I got the macro lens, the MP there by Canon. That started getting me into this area that people could talk about, but they weren't spending time in. And I felt like I was in these little rooms and these worlds when I was going into these macro camera shots. And I'd see things and I'd be like, what is that? What is that? And I'd start sort of doing specific Google searches, trying to learn plant terms that I didn't really, you know, exactly understand, like the stalk of the capitate trichome or the anthocyanin that grows within it, or all of these terms I just didn't really know, like even from a seedling, photographing a seedling and learning about the cotyledon and the epicotyl, seeing glands present from the first 2 leaves that come out of a seedling, seeing glandular trichomes already growing on the leaf surface, really made me realize when I'm really stuck on this position that all of the trichome, all of the cannabinoids and terpenes are produced inside the glandular trichome head. And when people say, no, it's inside the leaves, it's inside here and there, I say no. It's like they're just invisible glands that you're not seeing that are on the leaves. That's why you're getting effects when you're, drinking pure leaf, you know, juicing leaf or whatever. There's gland heads on that material, and it's. Did we get lost there?
Yeah, our screen just went off.
Oh,
for a
yeah,
sec. Yeah, it's all good.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fascinating to really look at what it is, because I mean, I think for forever essentially, without looking up close, I mean, there hasn't been this science. I mean, and
we're
because
scratching the surface, and it's coming
we're
now.
just starting to understand, and it's something that I guess in the modern age, science has cracked into just about everything else that's not illegal. Cannabis seems to be this unique illegal substance that isn't like a synthetic, that isn't like some other, you know, other. I mean, it's like there's some illegal substances, opium, for instance, but they've done a lot of research into that. That's been lacking in cannabis so heavily.
Well, lots has been lacking in cannabis, and this is by no means an insult to the cannabis community or the cannabis industry, but let's just say that it was a monopoly based on prohibition, and only those willing to break the law and play the game reaped from that monopoly. And so now it's kind of turning into this different monopoly, which is basically every business in the entire world is based on this monopoly, which is money. If you have the money, I mean, even if, you know, all this research that we require, these brilliant young researchers who are showing up, it's giant companies who will pay for that research. No one's going to pay for that research. No one's going to do activism to get that research paid for. Like
universities, maybe, but they get grants from large companies, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'll be large companies. Bottom line, whether it comes through a grant from a university or wherever it's coming from, it's going to be paid for generally by some giant company. Yeah. So I think that it's important that we.
Sadly, that's everything in our society.
Everything in our society.
It used to be different, but it's not.
It's
like
a tough
that
argument
anymore.
when you see people like, we don't want the corporate cannabis, and they're, you know, of course, posting it on their corporately made computer or corporately made iPhone, you know, like, or they're wearing their corporately made clothes, or every aspect of our lives are infused with businesses and corporations, of course, doing, like, where are we going, buy our groceries, and where, you know, I don't go to the farmer and buy them direct. I used to when I had my raw food cafe, and that was an amazing experience that I definitely would promote anyone if you're near. You know, if you have farmland around your city within 100 miles or whatever, I definitely suggest go support your local farmers. But is it realistic to buy all your food from the farmer? No, you're probably going to end up going to some of those corporately owned grocery stores. it's not a bad thing.
Right, and the idea, I mean, cannabis culture is a corporation. It's not.
Same with Fresh Headies.
Right. Yeah. So and
Same with Medtanner.
It doesn't mean you have to be unethical being a corporation.
Exactly.
There are ethics that go along with business, and that's what I think that we want to make sure that remains in the cannabis industry, and that isn't overtaken by a lot of the people who are really sort of stomping over other people to get what they're getting. Again, we want all-inclusiveness.
Yes.
We want everybody to be included, not just the government's buddies or people with the money or whoever.
And it's also a unique situation in the sense that cannabis has this real sort of experience where, because it's not only been something that we've used just medically, but let's be honest, it's something that's paid for our lives for the last 20, 30, and 40 years for many, 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 many of us. And so that's like an intense relationship to try and, there's no other business in the entire world that it's like, oh, well, I use cell phones, so I should be a part of this industry. Or, I wear clothes, I should be a part of JCPenney. Or
it's been forced on us by Prohibition.
Well,
you have to almost be part of the community.
It's definitely unique. It's even more so. If you want to see it even more intensely than, say, cannabis activists, go to the Rastafarian communities in Jamaica, because they've even taken it to the next level, and they're just like, they're the ones that have been singing about it and living it, and also being persecuted on the front lines. So they very much have this feeling like it's, that they, kind of own it.
Well, it's part of their activism.
It's a big part of who they are.
Let's be honest, though, cannabis grows everywhere around the planet.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. And anyone that tries to own cannabis should be understanding of the fact that it's not to be owned by anyone.
No.
It's a provider for certain. It'll provide for many people. And now that legal business is trying to get involved, there's this incredible sort of dichotomy back and forth of the two sides. I hope we can break through and see the best of both of those sides create into a third alternative version that just gives people access and inexpensive and really quality.
And unfortunately, the direction that our government seems to be going now is one where they're allowing a part of the population to engage in this kind of business and be part of it, and then they want to criminalize the rest of the people who engage in it. So they're still criminalizing the people out there that are selling or using even non-medical marijuana at this moment. So
absolutely. Well, because it's also because the way it's set up, like for instance, I'm very sensitive on this issue, is the issue of getting a license to grow cannabis. Now, I have friends who have been put in jail for cannabis, so I understand them wanting to get a license and protect themselves to not get arrested for growing cannabis.
Of course.
But I know that the licenses that we fought for a very long time, initially, when it was really all about the patients, had nothing to do who would reap the profits from any of that. It was about getting them access. And I know that when the MMAR first came to be, 90% of patients I spoke with said they weren't getting medicine from their designated grower. If they were, it was of terrible quality. And it was a real sort of mess that I saw. Most people were basically setting this project up so they could profit from selling their cannabis under the guise that it's a medical license and that they're growing for medical purposes. So this undermined the entire MMAR program to the point where, for several years, while we engaged in the lawsuit with the coalition and John Conroy and Kirk, Canadians were unable to get licenses for themselves because other people thought it was more important to protect themselves and sell weed with that license rather than just continue to do it under the guise of prohibition and just make your profit based on the prohibition that you want to make it on in the first place. I'm sensitive about using patients as a shield to sell cannabis because it's like, listen, we'll get there, but for right now, let's not undermine anything that's for the patients.
Right.
You know what I mean? We can fight our civil disobedience to sell and grow weed, but not under the guise of the licensing. Let's do that as a separate issue. So
I guess some people think that any kind of moving forward on that is, and it's like a form of Discordian activism or something. It's like fuck with the system in whatever way you can.
Yep.
If that means like abusing the licensing system that's made by the government, then people subscribe.
Well, it sure fucked the patients.
It does.
Definitely.
That's the problem. Is the backlash.
In the end, it wasn't the government who got fucked.
They'll just take shit away from the patients.
Yeah, it was, and it took so much away. It took the right to grow. It also took $400,000 out of our community.
Right. Yeah.
Like that could have been used for something else.
Right, and all the stuff that's happened in between, the people that have been persecuted for it, people that have had to shut their grows down because they moved.
Yeah, that's
or
what I'm
things
saying.
Like that.
All of these, and the people. And here's another thing: how you could really tell how much it was profit driven by people, because I would say, like, they'd be saying, like, do you think we're going to get grandfathered in? And I'm like, no, we can't get grandfathered in. That's unacceptable.
And
But they were hoping for it.
Right.
Like, man, listen.
It's
you
not
are,
fair
this-
to everyone.
Of course, it's
Right.
beyond not fair. Not only did they undermine the entire system by selling that pot into the black market, they then are bummed out and hopeful that they might get grandfathered in, but
And
don't
so
really care
everybody
about...
else can- exactly.
I
know,
could
it's
not
brutal.
accept that personally.
No.
I would continue on with the civil disobedience.
Well,
for
and
sure.
guess what? That's what happened in California. I think with some of their propositions, the dispensaries, like not the one that just passed, obviously 64,
Right.
but 19, the last one, it failed, and that was in part because dispensary owners didn't want to lose what they had going on there and the monopoly they had.
Well, you know, that makes sense. It's the prohibition-based profit is still the highest based profit margin that you can get. The profit margin that's based on quality and access and cleanliness, the clean, safe medicine, is not as high as you'll go to jail for 20 years if you get caught for this. That's a huge profit margin, and it's what attracted a lot of people to cannabis. And I'm not saying that it's a wrong thing. The prohibition-based profit sucks.
Right.
Profit on cannabis doesn't suck.
Right.
If it's a good profit.
Exactly. What's the difference? You should be
The
able to
difference is I don't want to profit off my friends going to prison.
Yeah.
I want to profit off, making it a beautiful extraction, growing beautiful herb, and making it accessible and affordable.
No, exactly.
Those are things I can get behind profiting.
Yeah, but not criminalizing your competition. And
No.
now, that's what these LPs are actually out for at the moment. Now,
Some.
of them,
It's
not all of
important
them.
that when you say that's when these LPs, that you really
all
specifically...
the ones that are part of that big lobby group, and that's the largest of them.
Exactly. And in their defense, it's almost the most natural. I mean, criminalizing, obviously brutal, but it's a natural defense of and I've asked this to dispensary owners. Say you paid the $30,000 that Vancouver wants you to pay.
Right.
You're not legal, but the city's kind of giving you a level of protection. You're allowed to do business.
Right.
And then someone comes a year and a half down the road, and they're just doing their civil disobedience thing, and they open next door to you, and they're not following the rules, and they're kind of doing some stupid shit,
Yeah.
like maybe some high school kids are getting in, and they're just a little bit looser. They're a little bit more like, well, why shouldn't everyone have access? And we got to respect their civil disobedience, but at the same time, the guy that paid the $30,000 that's trying to do things right is looking at that guy going, really? Now think of 30 million.
We got to analyze that a little deeper, though, because I think that no matter, look at what Cannabis Culture and Mark Emery did. It didn't matter. We support that people spring up all over the place. Even if we had a license that we paid $30,000 for, we want other people to spring up and do that. Now, when you mentioned that they might be doing something wrong and selling to minors
that's it.
or something,
That's what I'm saying.
That's
To make
something
it
different.
and that's
let's not-
important.
But let's not conflate the issue that the government is the only people who can regulate things properly.
They aren't.
With the guy
They're
who
the
might
ones
set
who-
up as not part of the system, and we instantly would think that he's doing something wrong. I don't think I want to.
No, I think
say
the
that.
worry. This is the worry that the LPs, for instance, when we see recalls happening, and people are like, "Oh, see how bad they are? They're getting recalled." It's like, no, listen, they're monitored, and that's a good thing. All of these other places are not, and that's a bad thing because it's not the super most ideal thing. Listen, I've seen
like
some
the regulations
I've
that they
seen
put
the
on the
moldy
LP?
weed at some of the spots, and so
Yeah,
I'm not
but
really
I've
overly.
seen the moldy fruit at the grocery store.
And people don't buy it and inhale it into their lungs sick as a patient. It's
Right.
different. If it's a recreational thing, I say sell whatever you want. If it's under the guise of patience, there requires a higher level of...
If there's
at the
bad
grocery store,
crops, if
Bubbleman.
there's bad crops, they're destroyed. If bad things come in with certain things, they are not passed.
And how do you
Certain
regulate
things-
that? How do you
certain-
effectively
certain-
regulate that?
Certain things do
Well,
wind up
just have it,
rotting
like, how
once
do
they
you-
are
like,
distributed.
for instance, would
cannabis
you
is
pay
stored wrong,
tax
it would
if
rot.
you didn't have to? If it wasn't regulated
Yes,
and you...
absolutely. I'm a volunteer.
but
It's my
most
political
people- most
philosophy.
people wouldn't.
But that's because we've been trained.
Most
to,
people wouldn't.
That's because we've been trained to be extremely competitive and to be Machiavellian in our abuse
Well,
of
no,
other
I
people
think
for our own personal
that
profit.
people just hate paying taxes because it's always that little bit that's yours, that leftover bit that's yours they take, and
But
it's
yet
like
people will give to charities and people will
but
put
not to
money
the
into
level of
like
30 or
green
40% of their
initiatives
wages.
Well, and they shouldn't have to.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and
so
that's-
in
tax is
Canada,
wrong.
for instance, I pay
Taxes
40
should
plus
not
percent.
be charged to people. People should. We can educate people to want to pay taxes and voluntarily pay them.
But
The
that's
fact that we set
utopian
up
to
our
think. How are you
society-
going to go to the hospital
Nah,
if
it's
the
not
people aren't
utopian.
paying their taxes? And well, it is
No.
somewhat utopian in the sense that it doesn't exist.
People would.
and
people would do
it's
it.
a dreamlike experience.
Well,
it would
I mean,
be one.
it's
We think it would be
utopian
wonderful,
in
right?
the sense that it's a wonderful thing. It's not utopian in the sense that it's something that we couldn't achieve.
Well, are utopian things we can't achieve?
Well, I think the implication is that, yes.
Oh shit! Well, because I definitely don't think that. I
No.
think that we have the ability to achieve utopian.
Most people use utopian as a disparaging comment against somebody they think this political system is too dreamy.
I think of it as like an ideal situation.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
utopian. It's like, dude, like in the perfect world, restaurants, you walk in and you pay for what you felt the meal was worth.
There are restaurants just like that.
Hey, Bernard had a restaurant in the 90s in Amsterdam, and he went tits up so fast because, of course, it's high integrity, low profits. I ran a restaurant of a similar nature, and it was amazing. I loved it.
I'd say we have a lot of work to do in society to get to anything like that, but that's what we should shoot for. Instead of setting up our whole principle of our society on holding a gun to somebody's head and saying, you have to participate and pay money to be part of the system, or your threat is jail or other things. So give me a break. Like that's what we're setting up our society.
Well, that's why
on
I
now.
pay taxes.
Threat of
fear
violence.
of jail, fear of to the degree that I do. I'd of course always feel like a reasonable amount. I don't know what that is, whether it's 15 or 20 or 25%, but 45 and plus percent gets into these levels that are like, it's just crushing.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous,
You
and
know?
it's always on the poor people. Rich people don't pay taxes.
Yeah, that's
They get
it.
away with the fucking most ridiculous tax breaks on everything.
No matter what level you're at, because when you say rich people, that's like I really would call them wealthy people.
Well, let's say the people of the 1% or the 0.001% who own virtually everything.
The wealthy.
Yeah, they have 90% of the stuff.
Yeah. Are you ready for a dab, by the way? I've been holding your dab in my hand
dab.
for
I
like
would
a while
love
here.
to have a
Yeah.
dab.
Let me light you up here while we get all.
Yeah, I've had a tickle in my throat for a couple days. So, or I mean, it's been a couple weeks actually. So, but it's on the wane. It's basically gone away. I've been kind of holding off of the dab, so I didn't like torture it. But I'm feeling ready for another dab here. Yeah. So the chatters are. What's going on here? Uh-oh.
Apparently, well,
There, Scab Tree. We got a lot of the regulars. I'm looking at the different chats here. We got YouTube chat going on, and we got Facebook chat going on. And you can follow this broadcast at either of those places. Now we do simulcasting. So I love Bubbleman's new, very sensible method of heating up your
love it.
rig.
It's my favorite thing.
Don't overheat it, and then you don't have to wait for 45 seconds.
You really don't have to wait at all.
Yeah, go dab.
It's just a little dab too. So probably if you hold it right up against the window, there you go.
This is a great way. It's like the 10-second dab, wait 5 seconds dab. It doesn't leave any residue on the nail. It's easy to clean out. It's tasty. It's a low temp, but just amazing.
So nice.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful way of having a dab.
It's very orangey.
And the very young lady to the right of you would love a dab.
Carly Marley would like a dab. Oh, Katie. We don't. Let's get the Katie cam. There's the Carly cam. Lean back for a sec, and then we can see. There's Katie. Hi, Katie. Now you're on Pod TV again. Katie, who was on Carly's show on Monday. So there we go. Now we got the full bench. Look at that. Beautiful people. Wow. Wait, what was that again? Is that something different or the same stuff?
I gave you some sour tangy with some sour tangy rosin with some OG Kush Blue River terpenes.
You can really taste the tangy. Man, which is one of my favorite strains. Okay, so Bubbleman, here's something you can answer for me. My favorite strain of all time is California Orange. And Calio has this different flavor to it. It's very, very orangey, and it's very lower, like almost, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost a musky orange. And it's just delicious. What is the terpene associated with this? Is this limonene or something, or what's in there?
Yeah, it's probably like a D-limonene and maybe valencine and a few others that create that citrusy flavor profile.
It seems so huge. And then, of course, the tangy is very similar.
Exactly. The tangy and a whole variety of orange velvet and jelly
Agent
bean,
orange.
Agent Orange. There's a whole bunch of them that are of Cali. Every time I smell it or taste it, I think, oh, that's the Calio.
Calio, yeah.
I was lucky enough to be in one of Shanti Baba's rooms in Bellinzona, Switzerland back in the early 2000s from the Mr. Nice Seed Bank, Shanti Baba. And he had an acre of Calio 7 weeks into flower under glass in a greenhouse.
Oh my God, it must have smelled amazing.
That's cool.
It was it was the greatest smell I've ever walked into a greenhouse and smelled. It was completely like made your eyes water.
That's my favorite. I remember back in the early 90s was when I first saw the Calio in a garden, and I walked in, it was just like, man, who's eating oranges? And it really smells just like an orange peel, like a burst of an orange peel. But there's lots of different flavors. Pardon me. That's something that recently for me, I've been smoking weed my whole life, but because of the association with the dispensary now, and I'm handling a lot of the flowers and that, I get to see it all lined up against each other and get to see the differences every day between so many different types of cannabis. Nothing is like that. I mean, you really can recognize such vast differences between the flavors and the profiles, and you really start to be able to call them out. Before, I was never able to do that, even though I smoked and sold so much pot over time. Just not seeing them put together in a way robs you of some of that. So I think the selection is important. Yeah. But I mean, I guess when you really look back at it, throughout history, do you think the terpenes have changed significantly? Like, I mean, how does that work with lineage? Do these things all go back forever, or is this something that is constantly evolving?
I guarantee you that Prohibition was definitely a major shot on terpene profiles. And out of the 185 plus terpenes that cannabis can produce, we produce a fraction of them in indoor grow rooms and even in greenhouses and outdoors. You go into different countries and get into more landrace, exotic strains, cultivars, and then you find more of these rarities. But the whole how much can I get and how fast can I get it prohibition-based mentality of growing cannabis, which was greed-based, of course, was somewhat detrimental to the profiles. That's why we also see very few cannabinoids present in the plant. We don't see CBG so much, or CBC, or some of the other rarer ones. And there's a lot of them as well, like 84 plus.
They were trying to get people high, and in a way it's Darwinian. It's like a natural selection, but man is doing the selecting. So it's there, the higher you get people, that's what becomes important in this selection process. That's interesting.
There you go.
A Darwinian concept, but we're the Lord.
I don't think they're gone, but I think that we have work to do to get them back. And that to me, if I was looking into cannabis, botany, agriculture, breeding, I would be considering these sort of concepts like, can I breed cannabis and pull out rare cannabinoid profiles and rare terpene profiles that are maybe not really seen in as many cultivars today?
Are there some that are gone forever, or is that even possible?
I mean, who knows? Probably. I mean, it seems like even when people are like, oh, there's this animal is about to become extinct, and they're like, soon 90% of animals that were alive on Earth will be extinct. I'm sure like 99.9% of animals that have lived on Earth are now extinct.
Right.
So it's just the perspective that you look at. I'm not like stoked on animals becoming extinct. I'm just saying if you look at it from the actual real perspective of like most everything, just like most people that have lived are now deceased.
Right.
We leave a big wake behind us.
Humans are dead.
That's what I say.
No, it's true. No, and it's a funny thing too, because really when you start to analyze it even deeper and you look at what evolution really means and how we put them into these categories, well, the animals change over evolution, right?
Of course we do.
Yeah, so they don't, one animal eventually
we were like
becomes
100 years ago.
It's more us giving it some designation, it's all kind of fraudulent in a way. It's not real. It's just a way of us having an easy way to categorize things. So an animal will change into some other form of an animal after, a million years.
If you look at pictures of common dog breeds now compared to like 100 or 200 years ago, they look completely different just because of the way we've bred them and, the influence we've had doing that.
Yeah, it's funny, breeding and marijuana breeding, there's similarities between animal breeding and marijuana breeding, and how you really, you're targeting certain traits you want, and you...
It's really a perfect example, too, of seeing like,
the right person to have a kid with is having traits and finding them biologically and mixing the right strains.
Johnny's matchmaker service.
Well, but look at how they're breeding dogs, and they're basically looking at what looks good, but then you look at the German Shepherd and what a strong breed it used to be, and how now it has hip dysplasia, and 80% of the dogs, they suffer greatly, they die terrible deaths at the end of their lives, they end up on pharmaceutical drugs, all because some one asshole dude thought they would look better like lower cut down with these hunched hips instead of the straight back that it used to have.
Yeah.
Which is, it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird thing because when you're playing with life, though, you're creating an animal that might suffer. You're playing this sort of role of nature or something. But I mean, that's done with plants too, but it's just harder to identify the suffering of a plant, I think.
Yeah.
The concept of the suffering of a plant, we're not even in that realm, I think.
We
don't really care about whether a plant suffers or not.
Well, our senses are a very small prison, and if we measure all that can be seen and all that can be heard, We are in a very thin slice of that graph, and
Right.
so that's amazing. That looks delicious.
Yeah, exactly. What we
Nice.
pull out of
Hey, how are
the
you doing?
utter
Nice
chaos.
to see you as well. This looks amazing. What is it, like 10 levels?
10 layer
Jesus. I'm pretty good with numbers.
cake. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
10.
I am
He's like Rain Man, Cake Rain Man.
Cake Rain
He's
Man.
like,
Just
30,
numbers.
40,
Numbers in general.
455 layers.
This is
The whole thing is when you get a good cake like this, and I know how much Mark likes chocolate and stuff, so it's like
That
this
is a chocolatey
I'm
ass
going
cake
for it.
too.
This is an amazing cake.
trying to
It's
get it
amazing.
in here. It's really gooey. Like
Good
it's like
work to all the people who put the party together.
it's like great hash.
We got Hashley right there. Let's put the cam on. You can see the crowd here. Oh, there's Tommy Boy out
Maybe
there
you
in
want to
the
invite another
crowd.
guest up here, Johnny B.
Yeah, it's getting it's
Take my spot.
5:38 now.
5:38.
5:38 here in the beautiful city of
Good cake,
Vancouver,
eh?
British Columbia.
Delicious.
And,
I know, it's amazing. For a surprise party, eh?
if you're in the neighborhood of 307 West Hastings, come on down
Not
and
bad.
join us for Johnny's birthday. Have a piece of cake. Oh, I already had one. No, right now I have my lightweight on cake. I can only eat so much into this tiny little stomach I have.
Johnny B's like, I'll eat the cake.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
Johnny's
cake.
gonna eat another slice. It was absolutely delicious.
There's a
So don't
bun.
get me wrong, but.
But this bud's for you.
Lovely.
So yeah, I
the
wonder
buns
if
are
we
pretty
do we
good.
have anybody else who wanted to step up to the plate right now. I think Carly Marley I was gonna have on. I'm just seeing if there was anybody else who wanted to talk on the show today. Oh wait, we didn't have Cindy on yet. Cindy was supposed to come on the show. We wanted to talk a little bit about her award. Yeah, Cindy, come on up. So yeah, we'll so Mark, thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate talking with you, enlightening us
Thanks for having
with
me, man.
your plant knowledge of the universe.
Brother.
And we'll have you back on again soon if we do this terpene show. It'd be great to pick your brains about that whole thing.
Thanks
man.
for
The
stopping by
experts to
this
tell us what's what.
surprise.
Hey, Johnny B. You know I'm going to be here for your surprise birthday party. Come on.
That was blown. That was really good.
That's awesome.
Even when you walked around the corner, I was like, that's awesome.
Wicked. Very cool. Well, I'm going to go puff with Dr. Natasha and
That's awesome.
her
Okay.
crew.
Well,
See you guys in a bit.
I'll be over there soon.
Bubbleman, thanks for coming on the show. Yeah, so having fun, Johnny, on your birthday?
I'm having a great time. You know what? This doesn't happen only once in a lifetime.
Well, once every year, yeah. If
Only
you're-
once
if
when
you're
you're
lucky.
45.
Well, that's pretty funny that this is the first surprise party. I don't know if I've ever had a surprise party, actually.
Yeah, no, I've had surprise
I don't
parties,
think
but
I
I knew
have.
about them. You know what I mean? You just knew about them.
Right, you
This
always
one,
end up
I
knowing.
had no idea.
Now we have Cindy here
Cindy.
from MJ Creams on the show to tell us about a recent award that you guys won. So, hi Cindy, how are you?
Hi,
to
happy
have you on the
birthday,
show.
Johnny B. See you here and
Thank you,
see
thank you.
Surprised, I
Totally
hope.
surprised. Blown.
Yeah, these girls have been planning it for a little while, and it's been pretty fun trying to keep it from you.
Keep it a secret.
And the cake is delicious.
Yeah,
Yummy. Thank you so much for
that cake
bringing
is
that.
super dope.
Oh,
We got
Pictures.
pictures of it.
yeah.
So, Cindy,
Yes.
tell us about what happened in Toronto there.
Oh my goodness! Well, we were just about to leave. I think you were already there when they had announced the venue changes and all the problems that occurred down there. It was quite shocking and
Yeah.
actually quite worrisome to get on a plane and not know what's going to be happening down there. But
Yeah, because if for those who don't know that are watching the show, the local government apparatus at the last minute, the 11th hour, pulled the chute and denied the permit for the large construction that Sarah Sunday was going to make for the tents to go under in the outdoor venue they had down by the beach. Government said no, venue said no, so Sarah was left having to find a venue at the last minute, which was a bit of a task.
yeah, well, fortunately, they had Mark to help them, and it was right across from
Chris
the
Goodwin
Church
went into
Street
action on that one.
location, and we were there on the Friday night standing in that parking lot going, oh boy, I don't know what's going to happen. So we,
It
just,
was amazing.
it was what they did overnight.
It happened right in the parking lot, right next to the Cannabis Culture, across the street from our Cannabis Culture location.
You got a hold of
at,
somebody that's renting the parking lot for the day?
They
481.
rented out, for however many hours, 14 hours or however many hours it was. And,
Spot.
each, yeah,
Yeah, they worked up the map and went here.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not talking, so I'm talking a lot. So basically,
That's
they
okay.
worked out the map for each spot, what it would be for the full day of parking, charging for that and gave him
Yeah.
a bill. So basically, that's why each spot was so much, because that's what it costs.
And partially in Vapor Central as well, they had the normal speakers panels.
Yes,
do
they
the
did
whole
the
thing.
best they could with what they
And
had
it
to
was
do.
a fantastic event. You know
It
what?
was. It was a little chilly. I could have brought more clothes, so I ended up wearing the clothes I was going to wear Saturday and Sunday. I wore both days together because it was so
It
cold.
was smart
It was
for me.
chilly.
I had 3 jackets in
Yeah,
the vehicle.
lucky.
Yeah, remember that? It was like you had to wear like in the Helena said she goes.
We actually broadcast
We're
the
in
entire
Toronto
event
time. Bring 3
on
jackets.
Pod TV. You guys can watch it if you want. You can go
Yeah,
tune
it's
in
good.
and find it on Pod TV. And J-Mac is calling from somewhere. That's
J-Mac.
interesting. I don't know
I've
where
seen
my
him
phone
leave.
is.
He left.
He left, but let's
Right
answer it
there.
on the
Oh,
iPhone,
we're
Apple
stuck
Watch.
on your cord.
There's your phone.
Oh, there's my phone. Oh, hey
Yeah,
J-Mac,
well-
what's up?
My legs fell off.
Uh-oh. Oh.
What happened?
Look
My
how
legs.
cute he is. Can we pick him up? Without his
Kristen.
legs.
My legs fell off.
He's got a bong in his hand. He's so cute.
I can't understand what he's
Come
saying.
on.
Hold on a sec. Hey, do you know Neil's number? I left my bus pass in this van. Ah,
he's so
okay. Okay, I'll tell Neil, J-Mac. I'll get Neil to come out.
Okay.
I think Neil's gone
I'll
too.
send you his number.
I'm not eating them.
We'll have to send some.
Okay.
But I'm on keep him forever. Forever. Yeah, no, he goes in a special
So-
place in the
I think Neil's gone too.
So we're still on Pod TV. So Cindy,
Yeah,
of course, when we were
100%.
there, we were talking about the
Yeah,
Karma
yeah,
Cup,
yeah.
and but there was a reason that you were there, of course.
Keep it-
You were.
Oh yeah, well we had a booth.
That's a meeting
It was
hall.
half a booth because everything was condensed into the new location. But
Right.
we were very pleased to be right next door to the Highway Magazine and John and Julie. Hi guys.
Yes, from Skunk.
And on our other side, we had these young kids that were selling T-shirts, and they were also representing some sort of grow up that they had, which was fantastic. I don't know if you saw their video that they were promoting.
No.
Anyways, it was pretty impressive.
Cool.
But yeah, we took along all our creams. We also entered into the competition. We were lucky number 6. And when it came down to announcing the winners, I was watching on my cell phone, and there was quite a few people around still, although most people were gone to the awards ceremony. I had to stay at the booth, and so I was watching live, and I actually saw the moment when they announced. I'm sure you guys were both there.
Yeah.
I wasn't, but
At Vapor
saw
Central.
the moment that they announced that number 6, in fact, MJ Creams was the number 1 winner of the Karma Cup in the topical category.
There you go.
So
Product that works.
oh,
MJ
it
Cream
does.
is such an
The
awesome
calm.
product. And tell people, okay, well, what is MJ Cream exactly, Cindy?
Well, it's an amazing product that we make here in Vancouver, and we sell it all over Canada to dispensaries. We'll wholesale it out right out to your home. Go to our website, mjcreams.ca. Check it out. They're magically infused with CBD and THC, and they work wonders on skin irritated, topicals, pain, yeah, arthritis.
Certain pains, deep pain, sometimes
Pain,
the
of
pain.
course.
Mostly
but-
surface nerve pain is what I used it for
Yes,
after my surgery and
nerve
stuff like
pain.
that. Was the surface nerve
Muscle
pain and
pain.
stuff like that. I used more of the transdermal creams for deeper pain and stuff like that. I know you have different types of creams, so
That's good.
there are
I'm
different
glad to hear
references
that.
to different types of creams with
Well,
MGM cream.
our
Definitely
newest
check out their
product-
website because you have different types of pain relief or different types of absorption levels that are able to trigger different parts.
What's the newest product?
Our newest product now are our bombs. They're a mini pain stick, and a skin stick for people that have psoriasis.
Oh, cool.
But the pain stick is you can apply it directly to your neck or your back, your shoulders.
It's like a
your leg.
roll-on stick.
Yeah, very small, very compact. Works efficiently right away. So yeah, check out our website, and hopefully we'll have some pictures up there soon of our awards. We actually won 3 awards this year.
And
Very
you can
happy.
find the products at our Cannabis Culture
Yes,
stores,
here,
actually. We
online.
have them at all of our, and online at cannabisculturehq.com. Yep, there's a whole range of
You
amazing
need an
stuff you guys
MJM
make.
cream
It's
med
awesome.
tainer someday.
We do. That would be a great gift for
You
our
don't have any
employees.
MJ Cream med tainers.
I don't
100%.
think so.
No.
I think I might
that'd be good.
I might have to make a phone call.
Cross promotion
Okay.
on everything.
You've got the logo. That's awesome. Well, thanks for having me, Johnny B. It's been a
Thank
great
you.
time.
You know what? I know it's everybody's. Like I
drinks.
said, it's a total surprise, especially on this holiday and Remembrance Day, where a lot of people are out with families, stuff like that.
Thanks for coming on, Cindy.
No
It was nice
problem.
of you to
Thanks
come up
for
and
having
talk
me.
to us about it. Yeah, we'll have you back again
I live
soon.
here now.
Oh yeah, I know, because you didn't live in town. I always thought, I didn't
I know
even really.
you did.
Because you're always
But
around.
Yeah,
I
now
thought,
I do.
geez,
So
of course.
yeah, still working on lots of projects. The Mom Cup too, like Neil mentioned earlier.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
exciting.
Nice.
Contact me if you need more information. I can
Yeah,
help
that's going to be fun.
point you in the right direction for that too.
Very cool. Yeah, we'll be having a lot more on the show about the Mom Cup coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and maybe we'll have you back on to talk more
Anytime.
about MJ Creams really soon, or
Anytime.
any of the other. You do. I mean, you're involved in basically all the activism that happens. So
She's
you're always
everywhere.
Yeah.
You see each other everywhere.
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh, hey,
true.
if when I walk
It's
around the
fun.
corner, I'm always see you guys.
I
You know?
know.
Where you
the
always like,
diehards.
where's your booth? I'm like right there.
Yeah. So Johnny B is
We're
our
always
booth.
kitty corner. We're always
That's
close
cool.
by.
Who's next?
I
Is that
think.
girl over there?
Is
I
Selena
think so.
coming on?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Is Elena
This, I
coming
warmed
up?
it up for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
She
so
doesn't
you
want
guys.
to. She's shaking her head no.
She's
Thanks,
shy.
Cindy.
She's like,
Appreciate it.
no. She's sipping on a drink.
We're gonna bring Carly Marley on.
Hey, Carly.
Carly Marley's coming up. Bye, Cindy. She's gonna. Yeah, you should slide. Do you want to slide over? Or
Okay.
we have you on the shot, but maybe we should get you to slide over. Maybe you can put your foot up on this table over here. Okay, just put on the ground for a couple seconds here.
So
Hi, Carly Pants. There you go with your pillow.
Got a pillow.
Oh, they have some. Pixie.
Hey, I got all these
Mix
gifts.
and
I need
go,
a bag.
mix and
Can someone
go.
get me
Look
a
at these
goodie
things.
bag?
Oh my
We have
goodness.
Pixie Mix and Go drinks, raspberry and mango flavor.
I need a goodie bag. My legs fell off.
CBD. There's
Oh, that's my
80,
mom.
80 milligrams of THC and 50 of CBD in these jars. Biggity bam. Hi, Carly Marley.
Hello, hello.
How's your party going? You having fun?
I am.
You kind of like laid up over there because you can't move around too much.
Well, you know what? I'm
Wonder why.
really lucky that I'm friends with people in the cannabis community because everyone's super nice in this community. And I've had so many people bring me doobies, and I've got like medicated drinks in front of me. Tommy Bomb, shout out to
too.
Tommy Bomb because he's been bringing me dabs all night, like running them over with like a perfectly temperature ready nail. Oh, it's perfect. I'm like
Very
super
nice.
stoned right now, thanks to Tommy, honestly. Smoking a lot of Terpene dabs. I'll be honest, I've been smoking a few different brand names, and I smoked a lot of Glacial Gold and Terpene extracts, and those two brands are really great for pain relief. So,
There you
and
go.
Thompson Caribou, oh my gosh. Especially when I first had the accident, it
I feel bad.
yeah,
It's like,
extremely,
everybody's
extremely
leaving 'cause I'm
helpful.
on
They
here
really
talking
help
with you
pain
guys.
relief.
Oh, but we can wrap the show up right now, Johnny, and then you can. We're gonna. It's like 6 o'clock almost, so we're gonna wrap it up as soon as we're done with Carly Marley Pants
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna wrap it up. I'm giving
and
the look.
Here's the we got the other cam. So there's the TCC syrup bar back there, and there's Katie right there. Look at Katie. Woo.
Cushed out Katie.
There's the whole bar.
Who's
You can
Katie?
see people sitting over against the
friend
wall.
Katie?
They got the display and stuff. It's pretty dope stuff. And so, yeah. So Carly, we did a little election special on your show on Monday.
Did.
And the outcome was pretty positive for the cannabis community for the most part.
Was it positive?
Won
thing?
so many of the states.
Yeah.
But we also got Trump though. I know you're a huge Trump supporter, big fan. What's your thoughts?
I'm terrified. I'm terrified, to be honest with you. I hope that the people who have seen Trump as a sort of grassroots option, as the sort of alternative to the usual government,
Yeah.
that maybe can cause some positive shakeup. I hope that they're right and that I was wrong all along.
Me too. I hope
but-
Trump turns into a good person, but
Yeah.
from the look
I'm
of who he's putting on his
terrified, though.
staff, I don't think that Giuliani, Chris Christie, and Newt Gingrich are really the type of people I would think of as good.
Well, I mean, the things he's saying or has been saying during the election are easy enough to cause enough anger and conflict that it seems like it could be the build up towards. Honestly, it seems like Civil War style stuff.
I doubt
know-
it'll get to that, but
but it's crazy right now. Like, when have you ever seen riots after an American president was elected? This is insane. Like, there's riots happening. This is scary. And there's been riots happening all throughout his campaign. And though they weren't directly related, I think that, when you've got a person who's running for the president of the United States, and they're saying things that are, instigating conflict and, opening a lot of old wounds that we are trying to, progress towards getting away from. We're trying to progress towards healing.
Yeah.
I think it's, it's a shame.
pretty brutal.
And I really hope that
I'm gonna show off the
we're
room
wrong
again.
about everything, and I hope that Clinton was really the more evil of the two options, and that Trump was the safer option of the two. Oh
I'm
my
showing off the
goodness.
Johnny cake while we talk. This is awesome.
Oh.
Look at Johnny. Look at that. Oh yeah, his leg fell out. Now he's now amputated leg Johnny. Yeah, he looks more. He's like Carly. Yeah. So, well, Carly, people can watch you at Cannabis Culture's website, podtv.com. Pod.tv. What am I talking about? I'm really high now. CannabisCulture.com and Pod TV. It's on both. And that's the 420 Lifestyle Show every Monday with Carly Marley at 4 p.m. PT. Tune in for that. Thanks for coming on, Carly. We're trying
Thanks,
to
Carly.
we're gonna wrap it up.
Wrapping up.
But yeah, I think we should. It was a 2-hour gig we did here for your party. We kind of like kidnapped you for the party, but
You know what's happening? I thought it was awesome to see all the different people that show up and all the friends that were wishing me a happy birthday today. And I was like,
it was a big one. It was
I was
awesome.
just like, guys, it's in 10 days. It's the 21st, not the 11th.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what do we
Well, I'm
got?
glad you were very
Yeah.
surprised still, Johnny.
Turn the cam. This camera's not on. Yeah. No, that's not on.
I was totally surprised, like so surprised because Helena, my girlfriend, she's like, well, I'm flying in early. You're gonna have to pick me up early. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, don't be going here. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. I'm like, well, okay, fine. I'm like, but I have to do this. She goes, and then I get to another place. They're like, well, happy birthday. Have a good night. And I'm like,
Everybody knew it was your birthday in advance. You're like, everybody's just really up on my birthday
no,
this
but
year.
just people in person. Nobody on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm checking my Facebook going, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
for the last thing I could ever dream of was a surprise party because, of course, like I said, I never had one. Right?
So there you go.
So it was
happy
it was
birthday,
awesome.
John. We love you, man.
Love you guys, man.
Big
Love you
time.
guys.
Happy birthday,
Love
Johnny.
everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Love you guys.
Thanks, Pod TV. Now, we may not be back next Friday because Johnny's going to be away. I'm going to be flying to Toronto, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be there in time. But if I am in time, then I'll do the show from one of our locations there, and we'll have something rolling. But I can't promise that because I'm not sure what the timeline's looking like yet.
Jedi for JV.
Nice. If you're in the neighborhood, come on down to Cannabis Culture, 307 West Hastings. We're still going to be hanging out here for a bit. There's probably still some.
I'm going to be doing some dabbing. My pipe's sitting
We
over
got
there. I'm
dabs.
getting a dabs coming at me here. More people coming around the corner from downstairs, getting off work. You know what? We're eating cake.
Eating cake, drinking
Yeah, I got
grape,
Dexter and
grow
House
up
over
grape
here.
soda. And
Delicious cake
we'll
and
we'll see you
delicious
soon,
dabs.
Pod TV.
The
You can watch
cake is
lots
awesome.
of shows at Pod TV all week long. Go to pod.tv and check
videos
them out
coming soon.
live.
Peace, guys. Thanks very much for the birthday bash.
Peace, Pod TV.
Peace.